Joined by Leo Staudaher. Tonight we're booming throughout the region on the Voice of the Region, AM 1230 WJOB, and available across the World Wide Web on Region Sports, JED TV, and Facebook Live as we bring you Oilmen baseball tonight. Well, Leo, the Oilmen trying to get back on track, and within the last week or so, the victories have come against the opponent tonight, the Chicago American Giants.
They've played a couple of really close games against these American Giants. Got a big win on Saturday when they were shorthanded. A walk-off come-from-behind win on Thursday. So the Oilmen have had the American Giants number, but these have come in some close games. So you can't take them too lightly, but this is a team they've managed to string some wins together against.
They're at a point where they're hoping to get some depth and length out of their starting pitcher. 2 of the last 3 games, the starter exiting early due to injury.
Yeah, that's something that's really hard to plan for. When you have guys leaving in the second or the third inning, that really takes a lot of pressure and puts it on the bullpen where everybody's slotted up a couple of innings. You have to go deeper than maybe you want to. So now we'll see tonight what the Oilmen can get from their starter, Logan Strutz, who just recently converted to a starter and has been pretty well out of that role. So we'll see how deep he can get in and hopefully provide some relaxation for the bullpen.
And it's been close games for this Giant team. They may only have 4 wins in the season. You look at their last 2 games, 1-run losses to the Corn Dogs last night and the Oilmen on Saturday. So they've been right there.
And they play everybody pretty well in the league. They're not getting blown out. A lot of their losses come at 1 run or just a little bit around there. So they play some tough games. They're a tough team to beat. They can come back late in games, as we've seen in a few games here at Oil City Stadium. So you can't take them too lightly.
We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, our pregame show continues next. I'll run through the starting lineups, and we'll set the stage as we get you set for first pitch coming up 7:10. Oilmen and the American Giants in just a little while. More pregame next on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Safety isn't a list of boxes to check. It's taking the best technologies out there and adapting them to work for you. The ultrasound that can see inside patients can also detect early signs of corrosion at our refineries. High-tech military cameras that see through walls can inspect our pipelines to prevent leaks. Remote-controlled aircraft can help us identify potential problems and stop them in their tracks. At BP, safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better. Safety doesn't come in a box. It's not a banner that goes on a wall. It's not something you do now and then, or when it's convenient. It's using state-of-the-art simulators to better prepare for any situation. It's giving offshore teams onshore support, and it's empowering anyone to stop a job if something doesn't seem right. At BP, safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Beach is just too hot. I mean, God, look at it. It's making the sand burn, the mouth dry, the skin cry. I mean, everything's just... Oh, there's Coors Light. Well, mouth desert, meet ice cold beer. Mountain cold refreshment. Let's chill.
Who is the IBEW? We're the people who bring the power to your home. The ones who make sure your phone calls and internet keep speeding along. We build things like schools and hospitals. We bring the biggest shows and sporting events to the world. Keep America's railroads on the right track. Help cities, states, and the federal government work for you. And we proudly build products made in the USA. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, the IBEW.
You didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't know Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra. Now, you do.
Back at Oil City Stadium, the lineup cards have been exchanged and ground rules have been discussed. That means it's time for me to give you the starting lineups for tonight's game, starting with the visitors from Chicago. Leading off and playing second base, Nate Gazda. Batting second is shortstop George Naha. The number 3 hitter is center fielder Joshua Carter. Batting cleanup is first baseman Zach Leslie. Hitting fifth in right field, Keegan O'Connor. O'Connor hitting fifth. Batting sixth is left fielder Gino Gazzillo. Gazzillo hits sixth and plays left. Batting seventh is third baseman Ezekiel Lopez. Hitting eighth is designated hitter Wallace Vasquez. And rounding out the 1 through 9 for the Giants and starting behind the plate, Nick Avalos. And all that in back of the starting pitcher for the Giants, right-hander Jaden Jones. It's Jones going for the Giants. Now here's the Oilmen starting lineup that the right-hander will be opposing. Leading off is right fielder Kyle Radcliffe. Batting second and getting the start at second base, Kyle Tyler. Hitting third and playing first base, David Marshall. Marshall hitting third. Batting cleanup is designated hitter Kyle Zarnacki. Zarnacki hits fourth. 3 Kyles out of the first 4 batters in the Oilmen lineup here tonight. Batting fifth is left fielder Chaz Clark. A familiar face to Oilmen fans from a year ago, but a new face to this year's team hits sixth. It's third baseman Anthony Fumagalli. Batting seventh is center fielder Dom Curcio. Hitting eighth and starting behind the plate, Colin Horniman. And rounding out the 1 through 9 for the Oilmen is shortstop Tyler Famakanen. All that in back of Northwest Indiana right-hander Logan Strutz. The Oilmen are being introduced, and they're taking the field defensively. They're doing so wearing their black uniforms with gold numbers on their backs. They've got the gold Oilmen lettering across the front of the chest, the black caps, gold Oilmen logo on the front of the cap, and the white pants for the Oilmen. The Giants are lined up parallel with the third base line, and they're wearing red uniforms with white numbers on their backs. They've got the white Chicago American Giant logo on the front of the chest, the gray pants, the blue cap, and the white Giant logo on the front of the cap. It's time to honor America. Let's listen in live for the playing of our national anthem.
As we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Tonight's national anthem. Well, it's Struts against Jones. It's the Oilmen against the Giants. And it's next on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
You hire certified electrician contractors, you're getting the best. But just as important as our skill and expertise is our culture of safety. We know it's important to you, and we know it's important to them. Certified Electrician represents the NECA IBEW team, a team where safety and productivity go hand in hand. It's why our jobs finish on time and on budget. It's why owners that use us are repeat customers. Certified Electrician, working together, powering Northwest Indiana.
Wait! Let me hear Lando Frost, premium meat, delicious, and no byproducts.
Toss it in.
Et moi?
Okay.
Whee!
Make the smart choice. Lando Frost Premium Meat.
Yes!
When it comes to Sunday, choose the right couch. Here's to the original light beer. It's Miller time.
Back at Oil City Stadium, final few warm-up tosses being completed for Oilman starting pitcher Logan Strutz, and the ball game set to get underway. The umpires have arrived, and they are all set to work our ball game today. Nathan Schrock is going to call the balls and strikes, and it'll be Chris Berkey to make the decisions on the base paths. Let's tell you about the weather here tonight. It is sunny, it is beautiful, and the game time temperature is 78 degrees. There's some clouds overhead. The lights have been turned on here at Oil City Stadium, but overall a very pleasant night for a game, and we've been fortunate just about all summer long with a lot of great nights for baseball at Oil City Stadium. It's going to be Nate Gazda to lead it off for the Chicago American Giants who are managed by Dre Gilmore. He's in his first season in charge of the Giants, but his second season in this league after he guided the MCL Minutemen a year ago. The Oilmen, of course, under the direction of Adam Enright, who is in his first season of his second stint, but he previously had a 4-year run as Oilman manager spanning from 2015 to 2018. The starting pitcher Strutz is into his initial motion. Here's the first pitch of the day. It's taken high for ball one. First pitch comes right at 7:10, and we're underway with a count of 1 ball and no strikes on Gazda. He comes set as he delivers the 1-0 offering. It's outside for a ball. What does Strutz, or no, it's on the outside corner, I should say, for a strike, and the count 1-1. What does Strutz have to do today, Leo, to be successful on the mound?
Well, for Strutz, it's going to be about keeping the walks down, though. That's what he did pretty well in his last start against the Chicago American Giants. That allowed him to go 6 innings. For an Oilman staff that's pretty depleted right now in terms of the bullpen being used a lot yesterday, you just need Strutz to go deep in this game, and he has to get ahead of these batters early in the counts.
1 ball and 2 strikes now, the count on Gazda. He is ahead right away here. Strutz a 1-0 mark, but an ERA of 5.71. Here's the 1-2. Swinging a ground ball foul left side, wide of the third base coaching box, and it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. He struck out 20 and walked 15 in 17 1/3 innings of work. This is his 8th game in his 3rd start of the year. His last outing came against these Giants on June the 30th. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Gazda. Way upstairs for a ball, and the count evens out at 2-2. He logged 6 innings, allowed 5 hits. There were 5 runs, 3 earned, 7 hits against him. He walked 2 in that outing. 2-2 here on Gazda. Here's the set from Strutz and the break-even pitch. This is high for a ball, and we go full at 3-2. Right away, a deep count here to the leadoff hitter. Strutz has allowed some hits against him in the last 2 starts. There have been 14 hits against him over the last 2 starts. Here's the payoff pitch. This is swung on and popped up our way in foul territory, and this is going to hit off the screen. No play, good effort for Horniman. He went right up against the screen to try to make the catch, and it ends up falling on the press box side of that screen, and a fan will pick it up, and the count remains 3-2.
For Strutz in those 2 starts where he's allowed 14 hits and 10 runs, it's more so been 1 inning where that damage seems to happen. And that first start against the American Giants, all of those runs were in the first inning, and then he really settled down after that and was able to make those in-game adjustments. That's something that's very important for the young pitchers in this league.
3-2 here, high for ball 4. Gazda draws the walk, and it's a leadoff walk to start a ball game. Never a good thing, Leo.
No, especially when you're ahead in the count, when you had the 1-2 advantage, then going back and walking. It was probably that foul ball pitch. That was the pitch he wanted, and then had to try to think of something on the spot there to throw for the payoff pitch part 2, and just threw it high and didn't quite get the spot he wanted on it.
Naha stands in next. First pitch to him, high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. There has been traffic on the bases against Strutz in each of his 2 starts this season. Again, this is his 3rd start. He was coming out of the bullpen prior to that, as you heard Leo touch on during our open. 1 ball and no strikes. The count on Naha. Runner goes. Pitch high for a ball. Throw to second base is going to be not in time. Close play at second base. Able to slide around the tag is Gazda, and he steals second.
And that's what we see a lot from these American Giants. It doesn't really seem to matter who's in the lineup. They're going to be aggressive on the base paths. So that's something that Horniman behind the plate is going to have to be aware of, and Strutz too, where he can't really give them too much with his delivery, that he might have to be a little faster with his approach towards the plate.
Yeah, they stole 7 bases against the Oilmen here at Oil City Stadium last week. The 2-0 is a strike call, and the count 2-1. And after that game, Adam Enright saying most of those steals were on the pitching staff, although he was happy that out of the 2, the pitchers were focused on the batter, not letting the base running game get in their heads. But at the same time, he wants to see those pitchers who are slow to the plate switch up some of the timing on their turns and looks at second base, and do some different things to switch things up on the runner.
Especially early on, if a staff can get a feel for how the pitcher's timing is in the first inning, that's going to be open season for the rest of the game, that they're going to be aggressive and know they can run on this guy all night. So you have to try to not let them get ahead early.
Here's a swing and a foul at the plate. The count goes full at 3-2. And these 2 topics that we're touching on right now kind of go hand in hand. I was talking about how there's traffic on the bases against Strutz in his 2 starts, a total of 8 walks and 14 hits over 10 innings. So that's between the walks and hits, 22 base runners over 10 innings. The payoff pitch high and outside for ball 4, back-to-back walks here. And if there's going to be a lot of traffic on the bases and you're going to have a few walks and hits over the course of the day, it's going to be all the more advantageous for the Giants if they can steal bases as well.
And the Giants have been aggressive all season. They have a lot of speed in their lineup, and they can kind of do that, where maybe they don't have as many power hitters as other teams in the league, but they can play some small ball, try to steal bases, try some hit and runs to do what they can to try to stay in these games, and working 2 quick walks against Struts can help them do that.
It's going to prompt a quick visit from Adam Enright. He wastes no time in getting out to try to make a correction here, as he obviously saw something that he wanted to impart upon Struts.
Early on here, you just want to make sure if you see something that you can correct it, because this is the first frame of action. You're still looking for your first out. You want to try to make sure that doesn't get lopsided before you start making those adjustments. If there's something Struts can fix right now, it's important to let him know right now that he can fix it.
Runners at first and second with nobody out here in the opening inning. Back-to-back walks have started this game. A stolen base for Gazda as well. And the Giants have a threat right away here on a beautiful night at Oil City Stadium. A thirsty Thursday, midsummer. This is a pitch high. It's high and in for a ball. The count 1 ball and no strikes. I remember the last time we had Nathan Schrock behind the plate, I really struggled with the play-by-play because I kind of have a hard time reading whether he's going to call it a strike or not. A little bit delayed. 1 ball and no strikes. Runners at first and second with no outs here. Here's the 1-0. This is swung on and lifted in the air. Well hit. It could be trouble. Clark is back on this, and he's going to watch it sail out of here. It's over the proud to call Whiting home from Notre Dame Federal Credit Union in left center field. It's to the right of the brick monster in left, and it's a 3-run home run for Joshua Carter. And just like that, the Giants are out to a 3-0 lead.
That was one Struts left hanging high over the zone, and Carter was just able to barrel that one up and drive it right out to left field. When you leave a fastball like that high in the zone, that's typically something a hitter can really damage with, and Carter got a good piece of that one. And now the Oilmen are trailing early, still in search of their first out.
2 walks and a home run, and the Giants have a 3-run lead right off the bat here tonight at Oil City Stadium. Big blow for Carter, his first home run. Here's a pitch high and in for a ball. That one was nowhere close. And now, after the Oilmen have had a few short starts in the last week, that's the last thing you want to see is Struts struggle this much out of the gate that'll impact how deep he can go in this game. Here's the 1-0. Taken for a strike, and it's 1-1.
I alluded to it earlier, but in that June 22nd start against the Generals, Struts allowed 5 early on in that game, but then was able to stay in for 4 innings. But still today, you have to wonder about how short his leash may be with 3 quick runs here before you even record an out.
This is high for a ball, 2 balls and 1 strike. He's a 2019 product of Lockport High School. 6'5", 185. The right-hander hails from Lockport, Illinois. Tends Triton, the 2-1. Skips in there, and the count 3 balls and 1 strike.
Struts just seems to be really missing a lot of his spots here, that he just might be having something with the grip on the ball where it's just drifting away from where he wants it.
Here's the 3-1. This is upstairs for ball 4. 3 of the first 4 have walked, and the other one launched a 3-run home run. That was Joshua Carter. And now Keegan O'Connor will bat with still nobody out in this opening inning.
This is big for Struts here to try to stop the damage here. He seems to be missing high in the zone a lot, where the ball just kind of starts to fade higher up. So that could be something where he's struggling with that command, but still look for something. Try to turn a double play. The Oilmen defense has to play flawless now, because you want to do what you can to help your pitcher out.
First pitch to O'Connor is taken for a strike, and the count 0-1.
It's important there to spot that first pitch for a strike. Getting ahead in the count, something he hasn't done too much of through the first 4 batters.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. This is on the outer half for a strike, and ahead is Struts. No balls and 2 strikes. So a flip of the script here as Struts is ahead in the count. The Oilman bullpen gets going here with nobody out in the first inning. But let's see if Struts can finish off a strikeout. This is taken for strike 3 call. Nathan Schrock brings him up, and O'Connor is out on strikes for the first out of the opening inning.
That was close to the outside edge of the zone, but Colin Horniman did a good job of spotting that one. His glove didn't pop back. There was not much recoil there. He was able to keep it firm in his spot there to capture strike 3.
1 out now, and runner at first, 3 in after the 3-run home run. And Gino Gazzillo will stand in next. That's a big first out, a much-needed one.
Especially getting the strikeout where you didn't have to risk a ball put in play there, allow the base runner to advance, get him down on 3 pitches. That helps him out a lot there, as now he gets another strike here. That can try to energize him as he moves through the rest of this lineup.
Strike called here. Strutt's getting ahead for the second straight batter with a first pitch strike on Gazzillo. Now it's forcing the Giants to swing the sticks a little bit here as he's finding the zone. The 0-1 just outside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's big that he's getting ahead early in these counts now, because the last thing you want is for the American Giants to get out there, put the bats on the shoulders, knowing that he's missing his spots and not have to do anything early in the counts. If you're making them have to swing early, you could give the probability of a ground out or something.
Here's a ball fisted foul. It was in on the hands of Gazzillo. Gazzillo hitting 169. And it's a 1 ball and 2 strike count.
Strutt's looking for another strikeout here. A double play would end the inning. But so far, we haven't seen much contact other than that home run ball. The American Giants seemingly not trying to swing it too much here.
Here's a 1-2. Swinging a ground ball to the right side foul, and the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. 3-0 in favor of the Giants. They have scored 3 on a home run by Joshua Carter here in this opening inning. If you're just tuning in, you have missed the fact that the Oilmen are playing from behind right away on this Thursday night against a Giant team that enters the ball game with a 4-21 record. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts. Gazzillo went fishing on that one, and Strutz has turned it around. He has fanned each of the last 2.
And that's big for the confidence of Logan Strutz on the mound. After the home run, you give up a walk. That can be tough, but then he's gotten back-to-back strikeouts here. We don't know how long he's going to go in this game, but at least we can see that he's starting to trend better in the right direction here in this top frame, and that's big for him. Maybe that he could now go deeper in this ball game.
Ezekiel Lopez will stand in next. Here's the first pitch to Ezekiel, and he takes high for ball 1. Oilmen at 16-14 after the loss yesterday to Joliet. Here's the 1-0. Taken for a strike call, the count 1-1.
For the Oilmen, it's now trying to be for their offense. How can they get back? And we saw that yesterday. They gave up a solo tally in the top of the first inning, and they put up 2 in the bottom. They're going to have to try to get back to that tonight.
This is high for a ball. Yeah, you're never happy giving 3 in the first inning, but pretty happy with the fact that Strutz has recovered and struck out the last 2. Here's the 2-1. This is swung on and lifted in the air, foul out of play right side. And now Strutz 1 strike away from perhaps striking out a 3rd straight.
And we saw that yesterday from the Generals starting pitcher, Salvador Duport, where he looked a little wild to start the game, but then settled in really well, going 6 innings. So maybe we could see that from Strutz here, where he's able to get some composure and go deeper in this game.
Here's a 2-2. Low for a ball. Nice block by Horniman to keep it in front of him, and the count goes full here at 3-2.
For the last thing you want to do is have to go to your bullpen early in this game for a 3rd time in 4 games. We saw that on Friday. We saw that yesterday. So the Oilmen want to make sure they can get some length out of their starter here.
3-2 with 2 outs. Happy to have you with us at Oil City Stadium. Here comes the payoff pitch. Runner in motion. It's taken for strike 3 called. And the inning ends. Strutz strikes out 3 straight, but not before damage done, as the Generals score 3 on 1 hit, the homer by Carter, and 1 left. After a half, Chicago 3 and the Oilmen coming to bat on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
You hire certified electrician contractors, you're getting the best. But just as important as our skill and expertise is our culture of safety. We know it's important to you, and we know it's important to them. Certified Electrician represents the NICA IBEW team, a team where safety and productivity go hand in hand. It's why our jobs finish on time and on budget. It's why owners that use us are repeat customers. Certified Electrician, working together, powering Northwest Indiana.
Wait! Let me help! Lando Frost! Premium meat! Delicious! And no byproducts!
Toss it in.
Et moi?
Okay.
Whee!
Make the smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
Yes!
When it comes to Sunday, choose the right couch. Here's to the original light beer. It's Miller time.
Oilmen.com. A lot of scouts from the big league organizations expected to be on hand, and always a lot of great talent in this league, Leo, as we will display the brightest stars of the Northern League on Tuesday night.
Really resulted in an entertaining product last season, seeing everybody from the league under the same roof, all the different players, the different coaches, the different broadcasters, and it really turned out to be a good game where you saw the players still
is going to join me for the broadcast on Tuesday night. We have been working with each other since going back 2012, maybe longer, but it'll be the first time we've actually called a game together. So I look forward to having Brian with me on the broadcast, the longtime broadcaster in the area and longtime Griffith High School baseball coach until recently. This is swung on and lifted in the air to left center, and this is going to fall in there for a base hit. It's a base hit for Radcliffe. The throw to second is not in time. It's airmailed but backed up. This fell between Gazzillo and Carter. Gazzillo did not have a good read on this ball. He stayed at his position in left field. Carter was racing over from center, and he couldn't get there. And Gazzillo really didn't make an all-out effort toward the ball. I'm not sure if he saw it well. It can be a difficult sun field in left at this hour.
And that was one where it was put up pretty high, but it wasn't traveling very fast. So that was strange to see it drop between two outfielders. But it could have been one where you lose it in the sun as the lights are starting to turn on and just don't see where it's quite going to drop. And the American Giants now put a base runner on second for the Oilmen.
And look out, this is behind Kyle Tyler with a breaking ball. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Radcliffe a leadoff double. Anyway, we look forward to that all-star game. Each of the broadcasters from the various teams in the league will pop on with me for a half an inning. Leo will be a part of the broadcast, and Brian will be with me. So look forward to a big extravaganza on Tuesday night. It'll begin at 7, and we hope you'll be here in person. Tickets available on NWIOilman.com. Runner goes 1-0 is a strike. Throw to third is also a strike, but it's not in time. Safe at third base is Radcliffe, who has good speed, and he swipes third.
Radcliffe was stealing with the pitch there, got off to a good jump, and that was a good throw made over by Avelos, but it was an even better slide by Radcliffe since he got off that early start. That allowed him to get in there safely because there was no time to spare over at third base.
1 ball, 1 strike on Tyler. The Oilmen trying to get on the board here in the bottom of the first. This is low and outside for a ball, wild pitch, and now indecisive is Radcliffe. Here's the throw to third on Radcliffe, not in time. He gets back to third safely. The ball hit off the bricks, as we've talked about, Leo. That bounce can be catcher-friendly.
That's sometimes hard for the runner on third to read off because sometimes you see them getting over-aggressive, not realizing how quick it's going to redirect off because sometimes the catchers, they don't always go for it. They don't go chasing because they know it's going to redirect back to them. So Avelos was able to play the ricochet there and keep Radcliffe over at third base.
2-1 on Tucker from Jaden Jones. He's 1-2 with an 8.67 ERA. This is bounce foul. The count 2-2. Jones making his 7th appearance and 4th start, 18 2/3 innings of work. He has struck out 15 and walked 12. He last pitched on June the 28th against Crestwood when he went 4 innings, allowing 3 runs, 1 earned. He issued 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, 4 hits against him. We have seen him against the Oilmen this year. We'll tell you about that in just a moment. 2-2 here on Kyle Tyler. And the break-even pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tyler's going to race down to first, and he will be out there as he strikes out for the first out of the inning. The pitch was in the dirt. Radcliffe holds at third. A big strikeout for Jones.
Yeah, Jones was able to get Tyler chasing there, maybe going a little aggressive at one that was breaking low in the zone for a big strikeout because after we saw the Oilmen were gifted a double, and then you were able to get Radcliffe 90 feet away from home plate. We're seeing they're in a good spot to try to add a run to get back into this game.
So now 1 out and a runner at third. We saw Jones on the 15th of June, 5 innings, 1 earned, 6 hits. Here's a line drive to right center. It's going to be a base hit. The Oilmen are on the board. RBI single for David Marshall as he jumps on the first pitch and strokes it to right center for a 1-out single to drive in Radcliffe.
Good rip there by Marshall, getting under a pitch on the first action he saw from Jones and just taking it out to the outfield there to score Radcliffe. And that's what the Oilmen needed, was a quick answer after that 3-run home run in the top half of the inning. You don't want to be playing from behind for too long, and now you're starting to put some action on the board here.
3-1 Giants as we play bottom of inning number 1. Anyway, a decent outing for Jaden Jones last time we saw him. Kishwaukee Community College. Jones Prep High School and a native of Chicago. And look out, this is inside and it hits the batter, Zarnacki. So the third Kyle to come to the plate in this inning. It reaches base via the hit by pitch, and now the Oilmen with runners at first and second with only one away.
Back-to-back first pitch plate or base appearances from the Oilmen after Marshall only needed one pitch to send one out to the outfield, and then Zarnacki gets one to clip him inside on the first pitch. The Oilmen aren't wasting much time against Jones on the mound here.
Clark standing in, runners at first and second, one out. Radcliffe has doubled and scored in this inning, an eventful first inning on both sides. Here comes the pitch from Jones, high for a ball, 1-0. Jones kind of shaking his head after that pitch. We'll see if the Oilmen can jump all over him in this first inning.
We've seen the Oilmen do that a lot this season, where they're like a big inning in the bottom of the first, really try to give their pitcher a chance to bounce back here and struts. And that's what they need to do here, set the tone well here and not let the American Giants get off to a cruise.
1 ball and no strikes on Clark. Zarnacki and Marshall take their lead from first and second. Here's the 1-0. This is outside for a ball, 1-1. Or I should say 2-0.
Seeing Clark's here, been able to drive 9 runs in this season on 16 hits. He could be someone later in the lineup that could be a good left-handed batting option and could try to do some damage here.
Pleasant night at the ballpark. Runs for both teams in this opening inning. Here comes the 2-0. Swing and a miss, and the count 2-1. Pitch was low, and Clark took a hack at it, and the count goes to 2 balls and a strike.
Clark just getting too aggressive on that one, swinging well over it. If he can try to barrel one up here, you have to think with the speed Marshall has on second base, he can score on a well-hit ball.
2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss, and the count evens out at 2-2.
He was able to get Clark chasing on one outside there. That one was starting to break away from the plate. Clark had to just commit to it and lean over and try to get a poke on it.
Clark hitting 281. He's driven in 9, and he'd love to add to that RBI total right here. Oilmen lead at first and second. Already 1 in, trailing the game 3-1. Here's the 2-2. Low for a ball. Now we go full at 3-2.
Good take by Clark and a good block there by Avelos. Keep that in front of him, the catcher there, so that the Oilmen base runners couldn't advance.
3-2 on Clark. Payoff pitch coming up. 1 out in the inning. Three for the Giants on the home run by Carter in the top of this inning. Here's the payoff pitch. Runners in motion. This is swung on and lifted to right. Runners are going to have to get back. The right fielder makes the catch. O'Connor sends it towards second base. Sliding in at second safely is Marshall. He just did get back in time on a close play at second base. And this goes as the second out of the inning on the fly ball to right.
Marshall ran with the contact there as that was hit directly to right field. He was basically already at third base when that was caught, so he either hustled back and get back to the bag there. That was one maybe if he waited for the catch, he probably still could have advanced to third when he tagged up.
And now it's a familiar face rejoining the Oilmen, making his season debut, Anthony Fumagalli. He was with the Oilmen a year ago, and he stands in here, Leo, with 2 on and 2 down.
Fumagalli was one of the more underrated players on last year's team, could provide a spark from the back of the order and some really solid defense, so it's good to see him back here in the Oilmen uniform.
Swing and a miss. He's playing third base today. Last year he hit 250 for the Oilmen. He played for T.J. Merrick the year prior to that for Rockford when T.J. was an assistant with Rockford of the Northwoods League. And then he played for T.J., the Oilman manager, a year ago. This is low and outside for a ball. Runners are going to try to move up, and they will. It's a wild pitch. Advancing to second and third are Marshall and Zarnacki. When they read that this was in the dirt, they moved up 90 feet apiece, and now a base hit could tie this game.
Good job by both of them to advance with 2 outs here, put Fumagalli in a place where if he could put one in the gap, that's likely 2 runs scoring. And we'll see if they can try to tie it up here in just the first frame of action.
Runners will go on contact with 2 down, and a base hit to the outfield should drive in both. Here's the 1-1. This is swung on and lifted to right center. It's going to be Carter, the center fielder, to cross in front of O'Connor and make the catch to retire the side. 1 run, 2 hits, and 2 left. After 1, Giants 3, Oilmen 1 on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Football legend Tom Flores, a.k.a. the Iceman, a.k.a. the first Latino quarterback and head coach ever, a.k.a. why isn't he in the hall yet? Well, Coors Light is going to do something about it.
I'll drink to that.
I am a success. I am the future.
I am.
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 I am Ivy Tech Community College. Are you?
You guys are crushing it. See how 8 grams of healthy protein in Land of Frost premium meat gives you energy and keeps you full. Let's get those buns toasted and bread. Cheese, 10 more. Go.
I'm getting shredded.
Make the smart choice. Land of Frost premium meat.
Well, coming up, a big night here at Oil City Stadium. It is Police and Fire Appreciation Night. You don't want to miss it. Circle this date. It is on Friday, July the 22nd, a 7:10 first pitch, a game to celebrate our local heroes with Police and Fire Night at Oil City Stadium, and it's all sponsored by our good friends at BP. Tickets are on sale now on NWIOilmen.com. BP presents Police and Fire Night right here at beautiful Oil City Stadium, coming up on the 22nd of July. We take it to the second inning, 3-1 in favor of the Giants, as the Giants with 3 in the top of the first, the Oilmen with 1 in the bottom of the first, but they had a chance for more.
The Oilmen had a chance to try to cut back into this even more when they had 2 runners in scoring position. There's Fumagalli was able to put one in the air, but it went right where the American Giants had their center fielder stationed. He was able to make the grab, but that was one where the Oilmen hopefully don't regret too much with those 2 runners left on base.
First pitch here, high for a ball. Let's talk about this inning for Logan Strutz. The last inning, an interesting one. He started by walking 3 of the first 4. The only batter in that sequence that did not walk hit a 3-run homer. Here's the 1-0 high for a ball. So it was not a great start, but then he came back and struck out the next 3.
I think that shows that he didn't get too rattled by that long ball, that he was able to calm down a little bit. So now we'll see if he can just work on that command, keep things lower in the zone, and just try to throw strikes.
But as we say this, he's fallen behind now, 3 balls and no strikes on Wallace Vasquez.
That's the thing he can't afford to have to happen too much either, is falling behind in those counts, because the American Giants are getting really patient against him.
3-0 low and outside, ball 4, a 4-pitch walk. Vasquez is on, and that'll bring up Avelos.
We've seen Strutz make in-game adjustments before this season, and you're just hoping he can eat up some innings here, not have to go to the pen in the first third of the game like you have recently, and just try to provide some kind of stability for this Oilman pitching staff.
3-1 in favor of the Giants as we play inning number 2. This is a strike in the count 0-1. A big first pitch strike to Avelos.
We saw Strutz with good command on those last 3 at-bats, striking out 3 consecutive, being able to spot it in different places in the zone, and send 2 of those 3 down looking.
Now he's trying to find it again here. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. This is way upstairs for a ball, 2 balls and a strike.
We're seeing when Strutz misses, he is missing pretty high, where he's just not getting that break on his curveball, where it just kind of seems to stay up high and just not even being a chance at something you get a batter to go chasing on.
Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss, and the count evens out at 2-2 on Avelos. The Oilman bullpen is going to get hot again here. There was action in the first inning, then Strutz settled in and struck out 3 straight. Here's a 2-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. He comes back with a big strikeout. Only 1 batter the first time through the order has put the ball in play. All of the rest walks or strikeouts.
1 batter put the ball out of the field of play as well with the home run. It's one of the more unique stat lines we've seen on the scorebook so far from Strutz. That was good for him to bounce back with a strikeout there.
4 strikeouts, 4 walks, and 1 home run. That's the first time through the order for the Giants. Here's a swing and a miss. I don't know if I've seen that exact combination before, a time through a batting order.
I think that says when Strutz is hitting his spots, he's good, but when he's missing them a lot with the walks. But we've seen in these at-bats where he's just been able to throw that strike or that fastball in for strikes, and it's been working so far.
Gazda takes high for a ball, 1-1. We're in the second inning at Oil City Stadium. We got the A-team today. Brandon Vickery, Leo Stadaher with you, and David Bork is with us as well. Here comes the 1-1. This is high for a ball, 2 balls and a strike. And welcome James Dorr, who's been with us the last few games here as well. 2-1, the count on Gazda. You'll hear from James along with Leo coming up in inning number 5. Happy to have you along wherever you might be on the Oilmen Broadcasting Network. Beautiful night for a game. Here's the 2-1. Taken for strike 2 call, and the count evens out at 2-2.
Good job by Horniman framing that pitch up a little bit, because that was one where it was a fastball going down, so sometimes that could just push your glove down a little bit, but he was able to keep it in a good spot for the strike there.
2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the break even. This is swung on and lifted in the air to left. Battling the sun is Clark. Clark is chasing after it toward the foul line, and this is going to land fair, and it's extra bases. Clark picks it up against the wall. His throw will come in toward third base on the relay throw, and it's not in time on a close play. A relay came in, and it was just late on Wallace Vasquez, who goes first to third on the play. Vasquez a little shaken up after the tag applied by Fumagalli. It was a relay that went from Clark to Famacanon to Fumagalli, and diving in headfirst safely was Vasquez at third on a double by Gazda.
It was a hard hit ball by Gazda off the wall in left field. It was one where it looked like maybe it was going to drift foul, so Clark didn't get off to a good sprint on it. When he realized it was going to land fairly, it was just too late, and he had to play it off the wall and get that relay throw in just barely, not in time.
Now it's Naha against the Oilman right-hander Strutz, who collects himself. Now he toes the rubber again. Naha looks at third for the signs from Dre Gilmore. And now he steps in. Giants already a 3-1 lead, and they're threatening for more in this second inning. With minute second and third and only 1 away. This is a wild pitch trying to score on the play. Vasquez, he will. The Giants lead 4-1 after Vasquez comes in and scores on a wild pitch to third on the play. Gazda.
That one redirected off the left shin pad of Horniman, and you can tell he, for a second, had to look around, wasn't quite sure where it bounced, as it took a low roll off to the backstop, and then it stayed put there, didn't redirect off it. So there was really no chance they were going to make the play at the plate.
1 ball and no strikes. Here's the pitch on the way. It's high for a ball, and the count 2-0. Yeah, you have to get that right deflection to have a chance to cut down the runner at the plate on a wild pitch.
We've seen Avelos on the other side has done a good job keeping it in front of him. That was something Horniman just wasn't quite able to do. When he kicked the leg out, that's sometimes one where you're not always sure where it's going to redirect away.
Sure. 2 balls and no strikes on Naha. Oilman infield back. This is high and in for a ball. They're conceding a run on a ground ball. It's either second or short. Just trying to get outs at this point. Already chasing by a 4-1 score in the second. Here's the 3-0 to Naha. This is taken for a strike, and it's 3-1.
Yeah, for the Oilmen defensively, you just have to do what you can to get outs here and hope your bats can try to cut back into this, trying to make that play. The play might be risky, so go with the chance where you have the highest probability of getting the out at first base.
Here's the 3-1 inside for ball 4. That is the second walk in this inning, and it's the 5th walk in the ball game issued by Strutz.
Strutz just not quite having the command he would want on his pitches. We saw in that game against the Generals where he was a little wild in the first inning, but then was just doing a better job of just trying to stay high and low in the zone, which is working vertically rather than horizontally. But then tonight it just seems to be that's where he's missing those spots, is those high and low pitches.
And we'll see if David can provide a pitch count here for Strutz. Runners at first and third, 54 pitches, and we're only in the second inning with 1 away. Here's the first pitch taken for a strike, and the count 0-1.
For the Oilmen, getting that second out here is a necessity, as you can't let Strutz labor too much out there. You have to try to do whatever you can and get that second out, and then eventually the third.
Here's the 0-1. High for a ball. High, hard one, and the count evens at 1-1. Strutz has pitched against these Giants twice before. We mentioned last time on June 30th. He also faced them on June the 15th, but that was a relief appearance of just an inning in the third. Here's a ball lifted in the air, shallow right. Coming in a few paces is Radcliffe. Radcliffe will put the leather on this one. Tagging at third is Gazda, and the throw is going to get by, and now Gazda paused halfway, and then he comes in and scores. It was good backup. And it ended up being a play at the plate, but safe at the plate is Gazda. Holding it first on a strange play is Naha. Let's recap this again. Radcliffe's throw came in, stopping halfway between third and home for some reason, was the runner Gazda, and then he went the rest of the way when this airmailed the catcher Horniman, but it was backed up nicely and then flipped to the plate, but that flip was late.
Late flip was really what cost the Oilmen there, but really good backup by Strutz, realizing that he had to still get in the play to try to make an out.
Now the runner goes and steals second base uncontested. So that does go as a sac fly, as the runner was going, although he initially slowed down halfway. So a sac fly and an RBI for Carter. Here's the 1-0 low for a ball. And then the stolen base for Naha a moment ago.
Strutz realized there was still a play to be made, but that throw was just a few paces late, and Horniman had to try to apply that tag on the back of the runner, and he was already able to touch home plate there for the win.
2-0, high and in, look out, wild pitch. Advancing to third on the wild pitch is Naha. And the day might be nearing an end in the early going for Strutz. Here comes Adam Enright. Let's see what he wants to do. Adam Enright to the mound. The Oilman manager will make his way out there as the count 3 balls and no strikes here on Leslie. And that's going to be it. Pitching change coming up. We will take a timeout. We'll come back and we'll tell you about the new Oilman pitcher after this. Strutz goes just an inning and 2/3, and there'll be a new man on the mound when we come back on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Safety doesn't come in a box. It's not a banner that goes on a wall. It's not something you do now and then, or when it's convenient. It's using state-of-the-art simulators to better prepare for any situation. It's giving offshore teams onshore support, and it's empowering anyone to stop a job if something doesn't seem right. At BP, safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better. Safety isn't a list of boxes to check. It's taking the best technologies out there and adapting them to work for you. The ultrasound that can see inside patients can also detect early signs of corrosion at our refineries. High-tech military cameras that see through walls can inspect our pipelines to prevent leaks. Remote-controlled aircraft can help us identify potential problems and stop them in their tracks. At BP, safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better. BP's natural gas teams use smart app technology to share data from any well instantly, so they can analyze trends and stop potential problems in their tracks, because safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Back at Oil City Stadium, where there's a new pitcher on the mound, and it's a right-hander. Tyler Pricing is on to work. We'll give you the final line on Logan Strutz. An inning and 2/3, 2 hits. You can't close the book on him yet. 5 runs, 5 earned. He's also still responsible for Naha at third base, and depending on how this plate appearance unfolds, he could be responsible for Leslie because of the count being 3 balls and no strikes. He has already walked 5, and again, he could be charged with this walk and 4 strikeouts. And what can you tell us, Leo, about Tyler Pricing?
Pricing's someone who's worked some good relief outings for the Oilmen. He had a June 27th 4-inning work spot of action, allowing no runs on just 1 hit, striking out 4. And that's what they're going to look for him to do today. It's just work, throw strikes, and put stuff in the zone.
3-0 is ball 4. So I believe this walk actually goes to the ledger of Strutz, since he threw 3 of the 4 balls. And that'll be his 6th walk of the day for Strutz. And now O'Connor will bat with runners at first and third and 2 down.
We've seen Pricing be able to do a good job of pitch for contact, keep his pitch count low, and work deep in some of these innings. He's someone that can be used as a 3-out type guy at the end of ball games, or someone that can be used for a little bit of a longer relief appearance as well.
This is outside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes on Keegan O'Connor. Pricing was with the Oilmen at the end of the season a year ago. Giants 5, Oilmen 1 as we play the 2nd inning. This is swung on and lifted toward left center. On the run is Curcio, and he slides for this one and makes the catch to end the inning. Nice play by Curcio in left center, but it's not before damage done as the Giants score twice. They do it on 1 hit and leave 2. We've played an inning and a half. It's the Giants 5 and the Oilmen 1 on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Don't go to the office, we build it. This is a truism with Ironworkers Local 395 and the Northwest Indiana Contractors Association. Our goal is to exceed our customers' expectations. We provide a skilled, OSHA-trained, drug-free workforce, as well as many other certifications from our 4-year training program. Every time you hire an ironworker from Local 395, you should feel confident that you are receiving highly trained, highly skilled, and drug-free journeymen and apprentices who take their job and your project seriously. For more information, contact us at 219-763-7900 or ironworkers395.com.
Have a student headed to college this fall? If so, you probably have questions, and the best place to find answers is Ivy Tech Community College. Ivy Tech is in your community and offers hundreds of options. Best of all, our tuition is a fraction of the cost of other colleges. Complete a free application today.
These natural gas teams use smart app technology to share data from any well instantly, so they can analyze trends and stop potential problems in their tracks, because safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
5-1 in favor of the Giants as we get set for the bottom of inning number 2. The Oilmen allowing crooked numbers in each of the first 2 innings, but if there's one thing we know against this Giant team, the Oilmen are likely to come from behind.
That's what we saw last Thursday, the Oilmen with a late comeback. Nothing's ever settled in this Northern League, where no lead is ever safe. And we'll see what the Oilmen can do here, as Dom Curcio is someone who can work a lot of walks. Colin Horniman's been swinging good bat as of late. Tyler Frommacannon can provide some clutch contact as well, so the back of the order could try to pick up some slack here.
Here's a foul on Curcio, and the thing is, the Giants have statistically the worst pitching staff in the Northern League, so the Oilmen have fallen behind against them time and time again, but there's a lot of opportunity to come from behind against a team that does not have one of the more effective pitching staffs in the league. Here's the 0-1. This is inside for it's a strike. And the count is 0-2 to the shock of many. That was called a strike.
And to that last point about the American Giants pitching, that's why the Oilmen have to try to get through this starter quick. You don't want to let him go deep in the game like we saw on Thursday, where Alex White went about 6 or 7 innings. You want to try to get him out of the game early, force them to go to their bullpen, because that's where things could get a little shakier.
The Giants, an .855 team earned run average. Again, that's last in the league. Here's the 0-2. Swinging a foul, but it was a nice job by A.J. White to settle in the middle part of that game, and it really was a good start by him. The Oilmen unable to consistently over the course of the game get hits in that game against the Giants. Their hits were bunched mostly in 2 innings in the middle part of the game, but they eventually pulled out a wild win. Here's the 0-2, high and outside for a ball, 1-2.
That's even what we saw on Saturday morning, and it's Jake Meyer on the mound for the American Giants, where he went into the 7th inning before the Oilmen were able to get some walks against him, mostly weak contact outside of the Horniman home run, but they were really just overwhelmed by a starting pitcher and let him go deep in the game.
This is taken low and outside for a ball. A lively Giant dugout tonight. Pitch was a little off the outer portion. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count on Dom Curcio. Here's the break even. Low for a ball. We go full at 3-2.
And this is what Dom Curcio does really well here. After he was down 0-2, he was able to take off, lay off some pitches that were close to the zone. He's one of the more patient hitters at the plate for the Oilmen, one of the team leaders in walks with quite a few of those this season.
3-2, the count on Curcio. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He's out on strikes, and that is the first out of the 2nd inning.
Curcio just went chasing after one there, was unable to work the walk. Good bounce-back performance from Jones on the mound to get the strikeout there. So now we'll see what Colin Horniman can do. And last time they played this American Giants team, he put one over the fence at the Kroc Center.
And that was a big home run that changed the complexion of that game, Leo.
That was because the Oilmen weren't making good contact until then. But that was kind of one of those things, once Horniman put one over the fence, that everybody else kind of picked up after him.
This is swung on and lifted in the air. Right side, Leslie runs out of real estate as this is on top of the clubhouse. Where the Oilmen get changed and get ready to go for the ball game. On the count, no balls and 1 strike. Horniman, that home run. This has not been an Oilman team that's had a lot of power this season, Leo. It's been more of a team that will have a few doubles here and there that will find a way to manufacture runs, the 0-1 low, but not a lot of home runs.
No, that's something they haven't really relied on this season, and they're starting to learn how to play that small ball type of play more, and that's starting to work for them. So then when you do get a boost from a home run, that kind of helps because it's like a bonus where you're making a lot of contact and then you hit one with some power, and you'll take that, but you have to make sure you're doing the easy things right too.
This is a strike call. One ball and 2 strikes. Here's the next pitch to Horniman. It's swung on and smashed to the left side base hit. Nice piece of hitting by Horniman with 2 strikes. He grounds one through the hole between third and short, and that is a 1-out single for the Oilmen catcher.
Even though the average isn't quite there for Horniman yet, batting just 125, he's starting to make good contact. When he gets a hold of one, he puts it in good spots. That one hit on the line, through a gap on the defense, and was just able to get him on base. That's what you need to do sometimes, not just crush the ball, but just put it in spots where the defense isn't stationed and do what you can to get on base.
This is low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. The count on Fama Cannon. 5-1 Giants. The Oilmen trying to start the comeback here early as they're in the bottom of inning number 2. This is low for a ball. Only good thing, Leo, about falling behind early is you have a lot of time to come back.
Especially here where you're down in the second inning, so you have a lot of frames to work with, but you don't want to wait till too long. You want to make sure you get those runs on the board early here. And while we've liked the walk-off wins, sometimes it's nice not to have to play that bottom of the 9th inning and give your offense a little bit of a break.
2 balls and no strikes on Fama Cannon. Here's the next pitch, swung on and lifted toward right. This is going to be a diving attempt, and what a catch by O'Connor in right. He takes an extra base hit away from Fama Cannon, diving toward the foul line. He's able to collect this one for the second out of the inning.
O'Connor went for broke there, diving head first, and then now Fama Cannon.
And now they said there was, we thought, a signal of a no catch, apparently. We thought he made the catch on this one. The Oilman responded as if he did. And then there was some confusion on whether he made the catch or not. Now the Giants are tagging everyone multiple times. The umpires are coming together. And we have some confusion here at Oil City Stadium.
That was, from my perspective, it looked like O'Connor made the catch. And then Fama Cannon was well of the base path, so he maybe could have still be called out as he was already basically back at the dugout before he ran over, and Horniman was staying put at first. So now it looks like Horniman's out, but Fama Cannon's going to stay. Are you able to make any sense out of this?
Not really. Here comes Dre Gilmore. Here comes Adam Enright. Both managers are coming out to argue here.
Maybe they're just talking about their post-game dinner plans.
As I have, this was the thing about a play like this is the umpire has to right away very clearly signal to everybody what the call is because it impacts the rest of the play.
That's the thing too, because then Horniman didn't run if he didn't think there was a catch made, or if he thought there was a catch made. He had no reason to try to run there. Nor would Fama Cannon have a reason to stay in the base path.
So everyone's conferencing here. We have Adam Enright, we have Dre Gilmore, we have Nathan Schrock, we have Chris Berkey. Game is being held up here. There's confusion, but ultimately it seems like it's going to end up the same way we thought it would with a catch, with a runner at first and 2 outs. But Adam Enright's not happy. He thinks it should be first and second with 1 out if this was handled differently. And then Dre Gilmore is not happy. He thinks it should be a double play.
Well, yeah, and that's why I'm confused. They're allowing the... So I guess Fama Cannon would be safe because then Horniman didn't make an attempt to advance. So that's why he's in the dugout. But there was really no sign that there was no catch, so there was no reason for Horniman to think he needed to advance there.
So Fama Cannon is standing on first base. Horniman is out. This goes as a fielder's choice then. 9 to, I'm not sure exactly, maybe 9-4, and then was that who ran over and tagged him, or was it the first baseman?
I think it was the first baseman that
maybe
applied
9-4-3 maybe. And that's a fielder's choice. That's the second out of the inning. And now heading over to the first base dugout to continue the conversation here is Nathan Schrock.
I can't tell if he
now
was...
he's saying there's 1 out. but there was already one out before that.
Yeah.
Hang on, they're asking us how many outs there are. There was one out before the play, and there was one out on that play. Ladies and gentlemen, I literally just took my headset off and told the umpire how many outs there are. That was the
Something
first.
new every day.
Things are going a little haywire here in the second inning.
It was a good job. You were calm, collected, provided a voice of reason here.
Here's a swing and a ball that's lifted to center. Carter is underneath it. He will make the catch, and the inning ends. Well, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 left for the Oilmen in that inning. We've played 2, Giants 5, Oilmen 1 on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
I've never seen ads on top of the roof where it's helping the community.
This place teaches you to be genuine, to be the same person today as you were yesterday. People from Indiana, they're pretty comfortable with who they are. And you know, I think that puts the people around them at ease to be comfortable with who they are.
The values that built Indiana are here in Strachan Van Til. We're Indiana's grocery store, and we're proud to be Indiana made.
These days, it's recommended that you keep your social circle small. Of course, as the original light beer, we've always recommended that. It's Miller time.
I've never seen ads on top of the roof where it's helping the community.
It's Miller time. Your social circle small. Of course, as the original light beer, we've always recommended that. It's Miller time.
Back for the third inning, 5-1 in favor of the Giants. Leo, we're still kind of reeling after that bizarre play in the bottom of the second inning. To recap the play for you again, Tyler Famakannon was batting. He hit one toward right. O'Connor, the right fielder, appeared to make an incredible catch, and that's how we called it originally, and that's how Tyler Famakannon saw it. He retreated back to first base. That's how Horniman saw it, I should say. He retreated back to first. That's how Famakannon saw it. He headed back toward the dugout, and then the Giant defense, recognizing that the umpires had called no catch, then tried to turn a double play by tagging the runner, and then Famakannon ended up back on first by the time they tagged him, I think, so that's why he was safe at first, and it ended up being a fielder's choice, and it was still the same result as a catch would have been with second out of the inning being recorded on that play and a runner at first base.
That's a play where you might need to see a more definite sign from the umpires that was no catch, because Famakannon, you see that, you already start to think to walk towards the dugout. He might not realize that sign was made, as that kind of got lost in the shuffle. You're reeling from seeing a great catch made, but you still have to be aware of what sign the umpire is making, and Horniman thought he had no reason to advance there, all of a sudden had to basically be the sacrificial player there.
This is swung on and lifted in the air left side. This is going to be in the Giant dugout, and the count 0-1. And then just to add to the chaos, the umpires signaled that there was one out total in the inning, which there was already a strikeout earlier in the inning. But then there was no runner standing at second base. They had called one of the players out because there was no way that Horniman was safe at second. He never ran to second. He went back to first. And then that confused us even more. Here's the 0-1 outside for a ball. And then, of all things, the umpire, Nathan Schrock, yelled up to me and asked me how many outs there were.
I probably figured you were the person that would most likely know. And looking around the crowd, I'd probably agree with that assessment. Maybe the commissioner, if he was in attendance, but I don't see where he is. So
He's
that would be the
watching.
first person I'd look to, but
Yeah.
Or one of the coaches. But
I don't think you want to ask the coach. They might give you a
true.
biased answer. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count on Gazillo. Here comes the pitch from Pricing. A few fans did help out, by the way. This is ball 2, 2-2.
The point being, you're the most identifiable person as someone affiliated with the league
Yes.
or the team.
No,
so
of course. It was a good move, I think. 2-2. Here's the pitch. It's a ground ball to the left side. This is picked up by Fumagalli, the third baseman. The throw to first is in time for the out, and that's the first out of the inning. Now, there are times where at a basketball game when I'm doing the stats, of course, the official might come over and ask to verify the score on the scoreboard, or might ask something about what does your time on your clock say on your computer if they had the clock malfunction or something like that. That happens all the time, but this was a new one.
It's the first time for everything here in the Northern League, as we were reminded of on that play.
This is inside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes, but ultimately... well, I think they got the call right, but I'm not really sure if the catch was made in right field or not. It was hard to see from up here. Here's the 1-0. Swinging a ground ball to the left side. This is picked up by Fumagalli. He tosses across in time. Back-to-back 5-3 putouts begin this third inning. There's 2 gone, nobody on.
That's what we saw a lot from Anthony Fumagalli last season, was that really solid defense on the left side of the diamond. Made some good plays at shortstop, was someone very reliable that you could play at multiple positions. Could be a really good piece for this Oilmen club this season.
2 outs and the base is clear. Here comes the pitch on the way. This is taken for a strike on the outside corner, and the count 0-1.
Now for Pricing on the mound, you want to make sure you can go deeper into this ball game here. You don't want to let the American Giants get off to a lot of walks here, work some quick innings.
And look out, the bat goes flying, and hopefully everybody's okay in the Giant dugout. The batter, Vasquez, swung and missed, and the full bat went flying into the American Giant dugout, and it appears that everybody's okay.
That one just slipped away from Vasquez and went for a ride there as he missed contact with it, but just that's one of the crazier things. Maybe work on the grip a little bit, or we know sticky substances are frowned upon in baseball, but that might be something where you need a little extra help holding on to the bat.
0-2 with 2 outs. Pricing trying to work a quick 1-2-3 inning here in the third with the Oilmen down 5-1. Here comes the righty's wind and his 0-2 fire. It's swung on and sent foul. Just able to get a piece to stay alive was Vasquez.
But now with the 2 ground outs and now an 0-2 count here, Pricing's doing a good job at just attacking these American Giant hitters, putting stuff that they're either going to put on the ground or not be able to connect with.
Here's the 2-strike pitch. This is swung on and lifted foul out of play. The count remains 0-2. (5-1) Giants. The Giants with 3 in the first, 2 in the second. Here's Pricing's 2-strike pitch. Swinging a tap foul. It remains 0-2. Tyler Pricing. Fastball, changeup, slider, curveball. Said he enjoyed the Oil City Stadium and the fans here at the ballpark the last 2 or 3 weeks of last season. That prompted him to want to return for another year. He's trying to work a 1-2-3. His 0-2 low and outside, 1-2.
And Pricing was just one of the later additions to last season's team. Appeared after some other pitchers left, but now looks to be one of the more focal points of the Oilmen bullpen this season. To provide someone with some veteran experience to just get some innings.
1-2 low and outside for a ball. We go even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
We've seen him start a game as well this season. That's good to have for pitchers, as being that versatile type of option.
2-2 swinging a tapper foul, and it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
We've seen Pricing's done a good job of being that guy that can get 3 high leverage outs. He can work a long relief role, and he can start in a pinch too. So it's almost like being like a Swiss Army knife, where he can be used in a lot of different functions, and that's what you need for pitching in this league when you might not have a set rotation for starters.
The 2-2 taken for ball 3. We go full at 3-2. He says he hopes to be a starter at Aurora next year, so he's hoping to maybe get some experience in that capacity over the course of the summer. Here's the payoff pitch. This is swung on and lifted foul off to the right out of play. It's always good to have that ability to, as you mentioned, work in whatever role necessary.
Especially at the college level, when maybe a lot of players in this league going from junior college to a 4-year university, just being able to show that you can do a little bit of everything, and that makes you a very recruitable player. Just like for an infielder or an outfielder, being able to play different positions, for a pitcher, not being confined to one role at a young age can really make you that type of attractive recruit.
3-2 on Vasquez. 5-1 in favor of the Giants as we play inning number 3. Here's the payoff pitch. Swinging a tapper foul, and it's past the third base coach, Dre Gilmore. Count remains full at 3-2.
Vasquez just working a really long at-bat here. Was down 0-2 a while ago, has fouled off a few, taken some balls, and now just has made it a full count and putting a little bit of a tax on the pitch count of pricing.
3 balls and 2 strikes on Vasquez. And now backing away is Vasquez. Here comes the payoff pitch. This is low for ball 4. Vasquez flips the bat as he makes his way to first base, trying to ignite a further rally here for the Giants, who already lead 5-1. A 2-out walk issued by Pricing. And it's the second time today Vasquez has been on base via the free pass.
There's a really good 2-out at-bat, too, by Vasquez. Being down 0-2 in the count, trying to not become that third out of a 1-2-3 inning. He was able to work the walk there and now make Pricing just work a little bit more.
Velos swings and grounds this one foul. Just got a piece behind the plate. The count 0-1.
Now we'll see how aggressive the American Giants are against Pricing here. See, they were off to the races against Strutz. We'll see now, looking at a different pitcher, if they can get a feel for his timing and try to keep that aggressive base running going.
The 0-1, this is inside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Several oddities to that play in the last half inning. Still kind of trying to recover from that. Not to mention the fact that both managers were both arguing the call. Here comes the 1-1. The swinging a line drive towards center. This is going to get down for a base hit. A walk and now a hit, and now the Giants with a 2-out uprising. The throw to second behind the runner, not in time. Rounding the base was Vasquez, and he dove headfirst safely back into the base just ahead of the tag.
That's where that 2-out walk becomes even more important, as Avelos didn't need to waste too many pitches there against Pricing to take one out for a single and now bring the top of the order up with 2 away.
And that means Nate Gazda, who has been on base twice. He had a double and scored in the second after walking and scoring a run in the first.
And in that type of production, out of your 8 and 9 hitters to bring the top back up with 2 outs, that's what you love to see as a manager. That's putting the American Giants in a position to make this an even bigger lead.
5-1 Giants. On Thirsty Thursday at Oil City Stadium tomorrow night, the Vikings will be here for a 7:10 first pitch, and then it's Oilmen and Vikings again at 6:10 coming up on Saturday. This is swung on and lifted in the air right side. Over is Marshall, the first baseman near the clubhouse. We'll watch this one hit off the roof, and the count 0-1. Hoping for the best weather-wise tomorrow night. The forecast is a little bit up in the air. But then it's supposed to be nice on Saturday night for the ball game between the Oilmen and the Vikings. Winners take their leads from first and second. Here's the 0-1. This is swung on and lifted in the air on the infield. The catch is going to be made by Fumagalli, the third baseman, in the inning ends. So the Giants don't score in the third. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 left. After 2.5, it remains Giants 5, Oilmen 1 on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Beach is just too hot. I mean, God, look at it. It's making the sand burn, the mouth dry, the skin cry. I mean, everything's just... Oh, there's Coors Light. Well, mouth desert, meet ice cold beer. Mountain cold refreshment. Let's chill.
Who is the IBEW? We're the people who bring the power to your home. The ones who make sure your phone calls and internet keep speeding along. We build things like schools and hospitals. We bring the biggest shows and sporting events to the world. Keep America's railroads on the right track. Help cities, states, and the federal government work for you. And we proudly build products made in the USA. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, the IBEW.
You didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't know Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra. Now, you do.
When you hire certified electrician contractors, you're getting the best. But just as important as our skill and expertise is our culture of safety. We know it's important to you, and we know it's important to them. Certified Electrician represents the NECA IBEW team, a team where safety and productivity go hand in hand. It's why our jobs finish on time and on budget. It's why owners that use us are repeat customers. Certified Electrician, working together, powering Northwest Indiana.
Wait! Let me help! Land of Frost! Premium meat! Delicious! And no byproducts!
Toss it in.
Et moi?
Okay.
Whee!
Make the smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
Yes! When it comes to Sunday, choose the right couch. Here's to the original light beer. It's Miller time.
These natural gas teams use smart app technology to share data from any well instantly, so they can analyze trends and stop potential problems in their tracks, because safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Back at Oil City Stadium, 5-1 Giants as we get set for inning number 3. Big inning for Pricing. The start was a little wobbly from Strutz. He allows the 5 runs over his inning and 2/3, and Pricing comes in and does a nice job. Here's a swinging a ball that's lifted in the air, pretty well hit by Tyler. Going back on this is Carter. He's still going back. It's going to be over his head. Extra bases for Tyler, who has good speed. He's around second. He's thinking 3. Here comes the relay throw. It's going to be late. He dives in head first safely. Leadoff triple, Kyle Tyler. The Oilmen are in business here in the 3rd.
Kyle Tyler is someone who's newer to the team with the Oilmen, but he's shown tremendous potential, someone that has a really good bat, and we saw there where he was just able to club that one deep to center field, took it to one of the deepest parts of the park, and then leg out a triple there on a play that might have been a double for most batters, and give the Oilmen a chance to score here with their leadoff batter.
David Marshall will stand in next. Let's see how the Giants play it here. They'll keep the infield back early in the game, leading by a 5-1 score. Nobody out in the inning. Middle infield very deep. Here comes the first pitch to Marshall, swinging a line drive toward left. This ball is going to be a diving catch. No, it gets away. No catch. It's extra bases, and at second base safely is Marshall. Gazzillo makes a great effort for it. He initially had it in his mid, and then it comes out of his mid. It's a double for Marshall. Back-to-back extra base hits for the Oilmen, and they score a run here in the 3rd. It's 5-2.
And that's the dangers for an outfielder of diving for a catch there like that from Gazzillo. You're going for broke, so you make that catch when you're in the air, but then there's that impact when you hit the ground. So sometimes that ball can get ejected loose and then roll away, and then allow Marshall to reach base with a double and drive in a run for the Oilmen.
So the Oilmen out hitting the Giants 5-3, yet they trail the column that counts by a 5-2 score. Velos to the mound here to talk things over with Jaden Jones.
Now we're seeing good contact from the Oilmen here in the third inning here, where they're able to just put the ball in the air. Yesterday against the Generals, we didn't see too much of that. A lot of ground ball contact, a lot of soft contact, so it's good to see them bounce back here with Tyler and Marshall.
Here's the first pitch on the way to Zarnacki. It's swung on and lifted in the air in foul territory. Leslie is under this one. He has room near the tarp, makes the catch, stumbles over the tarp, but he's okay, and he holds on. That is out number 1 on a foul fly off the bat of Zarnacki for the first out of the 3rd.
Zarnacki was able to get under that one, but didn't quite put it where he wanted. Mostly just skied it when he was trying to take that for a ride out there like the first 2 hits we saw this inning. So now he has to head back to the dugout with the fly out.
Now it's Clark to try to drive in Marshall. Marshall, who, again, has driven in both Oilmen runs in this game. He's up to 14 RBIs for the season. He leads off second base. 5-2 Giants in the 3rd. Here's the first pitch to Clark. This is swung on and lifted off to the left, foul and out of play. This clears the grassy berm area and onto the concourse. The Northern League All-Star Game, again, coming up on Tuesday. That's the big night for all the stars of the league. I was here when Paul DeYoung played in the game in 2013. Then he went on to become a big league All-Star. There's the 0-1. Tapper just foul on the count 0-2. Well, been trying to bounce back from that 9-6 loss to Joliet on Kids Day yesterday. Leo Shalaski again leaving with bicep tightness, as we learned after the game. But the Oilmen issued a lot of walks. 11 walks issued by the Oilmen pitching staff. And a lot of times they had 2-strike counts. They were ahead in counts last night and just couldn't put batters away. And that many times led to free passes even after the Oilmen were ahead, maybe 1-2 in counts.
We saw that a lot yesterday, and what hurt even more, too, is that the Oilmen only walked twice as a team. So when you're giving up a lot of walks, aren't getting those as a team, that just gives the Generals so many chances to get on base. Because Joliet's good at hitting with runners on, where you get those walks, and then they're just able to get a good single that scores 2 runs.
0-2, runner goes, throw to third is going to be not in time. It's a stolen base. Pitch was a ball, and Marshall steals third, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes, and now a chance to drive in the run from third for Clark.
Good jump there by Marshall, has good speed, was able to get over there in time, and now put himself in a good scoring spot here for Chaz Clark, who's looking for his 10th RBI of the season.
He flied to right his first time. Giants 5, Oilmen 2, last of inning number 3. Here comes the pitch from Jones. Swing and a miss, strike 3, a big strikeout for Jones for the second out of the inning.
After the Oilmen came out firing to start this inning, now Jones has been able to bounce back, get a flyout and a strikeout to make this a little bit of a closer frame.
Now it's Fumagalli. Fumagalli started his college career at Central College, and then went on to College of DuPage, and then eventually Purdue Northwest, where he played for the Pride. Played with the Oilmen a year ago. Here's the pitch to Fumo, and the count low for ball 1.
It was just a real good piece for the Oilmen last season, someone who really seemed to energize the team, could bat throughout the order, play multiple different positions. The type of player that you think Adam Enright and his staff will be thrilled to have.
He's a veteran, an older guy. Another guy to bring some leadership to this Oilmen team. Trying to extend his playing career beyond the college level. Here's the 1-0 to Anthony. He takes low for a ball. Wild pitch coming in to score is going to be Marshall. And the Oilmen have made it a 5-3 game. Marshall doubles, drives in a run, steals third, and then he scores on a wild pitch.
It's big for the Oilmen to get the run there, as now they're within 2 runs here. Now with pricing starting to look pretty good on the mound, this could be what they need here, as you're making it close and can get some stability defensively. Just try to keep chipping away at this.
Now, slight stoppage in play here. Action will resume. 2 balls and no strikes. The count on Fumagalli. Here's the pitch on the way from Jones. The 2-0 is taken for a strike, and the count 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swinging a tap foul, and the count 2-2.
This one was lower in the zone from Magali, had already committed to swinging, was just able to get a little bit of piece of it and try to keep this at-bat going.
You talked about how the Oilmen only walked twice yesterday, and that was surprising because the Generals were falling behind in a lot of counts, but then the Oilmen were eventually striking out, or when the batters were ahead in counts and General pitching was behind, they were hitting a lot of ground balls, including a lot of double plays. The 2-1. High for ball 3, we go, or the 2-2, we go full at 3-2.
Those double plays really proved to be a lot of backbreakers for the Oilmen, as innings where it looked like they could try to tie it up, get back in it, and then those twin killings were just so massive, and you could tell that really energized Joliet.
3-2 on Anthony Fumagalli. Jones ready. He winds and fires the payoff pitch. This is swung on and fouled back to the screen. It remains full at 3-2. So the Oilmen hoping to do more damage when they get in those favorable counts here as we move forward. And then on the flip side, the kind of the counts favored the Oilmen on both sides, and they couldn't take advantage, losing guys on the mound and then not hitting pitches and hitters' counts hitting-wise. They're trying to be too perfect once they got ahead in the count on the mound, and we're so worried about giving up the big hit. That's what Adam Enright said after the game. Here's the payoff pitch. Swinging a ground ball towards short. Naha comes in and fields the slow roller. Nice play. A one-hop throw to first in time. Dug out by Leslie. And the inning ends. 6-3 the putout goes. But the Oilmen do damage. They get 2 runs on 2 hits and leave none. After 3, the new score. It's the Giants 5 and the Oilmen 3 on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
beach is just too hot. I mean, God, look at it. It's making the sand burn, the mouth dry, the skin cry. I mean, everything's just... Oh, there's Coors Light. Well, mouth desert, meet ice cold beer. Mountain cold refreshment. Let's chill.
Who is the IBEW? We're the people who bring the power to your home, the ones who make sure your phone calls and internet keep speeding along. We build things like schools and hospitals. We bring the biggest shows and sporting events to the world, keep America's railroads on the right track, help cities, states, and the federal government work for you. And we proudly build products made in the USA. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, the IBEW.
You didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't know Miller Lite has more taste and only one more calorie than Michelob Ultra. Now, you do.
You hire certified electrician contractors, you're getting the best. But just as important as our skill and expertise is our culture of safety. We know it's important to you, and we know it's important to them. Certified Electrician represents the NECA IBEW team, a team where safety and productivity go.
Comes to Sunday. Choose the right couch. Here's to the original light beer. It's Miller time.
Fourth inning at Oil City Stadium, 5-3 in favor of the Giants. Again, this is a Giant team that has been in close games. They are just 4-21 on the season. They have lost 6 straight coming into play today. Here's a swing and a drive to left. It's going to get down for a base hit. Sharp single to left off the bat of Naha that falls in front of Clark. It's a first pitch single to begin this fourth inning against Pricing. This is a team that has lost 4 straight. They are just 1-14, Leo, in their last 15 ball games.
They've been playing some close baseball, but that is something that starts to wear on you after a while when you're losing a lot and you're watching teams come from behind, walk you off a bunch. But trying to get a win with a good start tonight could be big for them to try to build something.
This is high for a ball. Last night they lost by a 5-4 score against the Lake County Corn Dogs, so again, another close game. And 3 of their last 4 have been one-run affairs, including 2 against the Oilmen. The 1-0 is swung on and lifted foul out of play right side, and the count 1-1.
It says something about the buy-in, though, that the American Giants have to have is if you're well under 500 like this, but you're still playing close baseball, is that guys are still going out there taking competitive at-bats, pitchers are working hard, just coming on the wrong end of a lot of these games. 1
ball, 1 strike on Carter. Lead at first for Naha. Here's the 1-1. Swinging a ground ball towards second. Could it be 2? Tyler turns around, goes to second 1, and that'll be it. It's a fielder's choice. Good speed for Carter. Good decision by Von McCannon to avoid trying to rush a throw toward first. Tyler did feed a fastball to the covering shortstop, and it goes as a 4-6 fielder's choice for the first out of the inning.
Good play by the Oilmen, getting the lead out there. They weren't able to turn 2, but you were still able to at least get half of it. And now trying to just help Pricing out some more here with 1 away.
Oilmen are 4-1 against the Giants this season, by the way, but a lot of close games. Leslie stands in. The first offering to him is strike 1 called. They are 10-2 all time against the Giants. Remember, the Giants just came into the league a year ago. Of course, they're named in honor of the old Chicago American Giants of the Negro Leagues. And they came into existence prior to last season. This rendition of the Giants. Runner goes. The 0-1 out is going to be a throw to second base. Not in time. Called strike on the pitch, by the way. It makes it 0-2 on Leslie. Safe at second with a stolen base is Carter. Now a base hit could drive in a run.
Now Pricing just has to try to throw a strike here. You don't want to fall behind in this count. You have to be mindful of the runner on second base, but also try to get this out at the plate.
0-2. Here's the pitch, swing and a foul. Reaching for it to just try to fight it off with 2 strikes was Leslie, and it remains 0-2. (5-3) here in inning number 4. Pricing set in his 0-2 pitch. This is swung on and lifted foul out of play, and it remains 0-2. (5-3) the score as we play inning number 4. The Oilmen 10-2 all-time against the Giants. They've won 4. This is going to be no pitch. It's lobbed in there. The time was called late. They've won 4 consecutive head-to-head meetings. It's similar to a year ago where they lost the first matchup and then won all the rest. And so far this year, they lost the first game and have won the last 4.
It's interesting how that symmetry happens. In both of those games, Oilmen losing the season opener, and then they had some really good games against the American Giants last season.
Here's a tapper back to the mound. This is fielded by Pricing. He throws to first in time, and that is the second out of the inning. 1-3 the putout goes. Scooting to third base on this play is Carter, but now they're 2 down.
Now the Oilmen 1 out away from getting out of this, but last season the Oilmen dominated the season series. This year it's been a lot of closer games. There were a lot of, felt like 10-run rule games against the Oilmen and the American Giants last season. This year, even though the Oilmen have gotten some wins, they've been wins where they were just barely able to scrape by.
Yeah, and there was a Giant team last year, this is high and outside, that had a better record than the one this year, but this year's team is the one that is playing a lot of close games against the Oilmen.
I think part of that does is teams get excited to come into Oil City Stadium and face the Oilmen. They're playing some of their best ball here under the lights at the OC.
Here's a strike call in the count 1-1. 5-3 Giants as we play inning number 4. And the lights, as you allude to them, have taken full effect now as night has fallen. Here's a strike call, and it's 1-2. And it's that beautiful setting at Oil City. It'll soon get even darker, and then the lights from the oil refinery backdrop will really have their effect. And that flame out in left center. Here's a swinging a ball, line to short, caught on a line by Famacanon, and the inning ends. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. A big out there to strand a runner at third base. We played 3.5, 5-3 Giants on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Beach is just too hot. I mean, God, look at it. It's making the sand burn, the mouth dry, the skin cry. I mean, everything's just... Oh, there's Coors Light. Well, mouth desert, meet ice cold beer. Mountain cold refreshment. That's chill.
Who is the IBEW? We're the people who bring the power to your home. The ones who make sure your phone calls and internet keep speeding along. We build things like schools and hospitals. We bring the biggest shows and sporting events to the world. Keep America's railroads on the right track. Help cities, states, and the federal government work for you. And we proudly build products made in the USA. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, the IBEW.
You didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't know Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra. Now, you do.
Safety doesn't come in a box. It's not a banner that goes on a wall. It's not something you do now and then, or when it's convenient. It's using state-of-the-art simulators to better prepare for any situation. It's giving offshore teams onshore support, and it's empowering anyone to stop a job if something doesn't seem right. At BP, safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Dom Curcio leads off the bottom of inning number 4 for the Oilmen, who trail it by a 5-3 score. But they scored 2 runs in the third inning to chip away, and you're feeling like there's some real life from this Oilmen offense.
Especially the way Pricing's been pitching on the mound, that really helps you out, that he's been able to put back-to-back zeros. And now the Oilmen are trying to help him out by getting some runs. They're making some good contact here. They're not letting Jones really overwhelm them at the plate.
First pitch to Curcio here, low for a ball, 1-0.
Especially looking at the way they started the bottom of the third inning with a triple, then a double, getting those extra base hits early in innings. That set them up well to get those 2 runs across the plate.
Now the 1-0 to Curcio is swung on and lifted foul off to the left and out of play, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. It's 5-3 Giants here in the 4th. The lower third in this inning, 7, 8, and 9 against Jaden Jones. Here's the 1-1. Swinging a line or a pop fly, shallow left. This is going to fall in there for a base hit. It's a bloop single for Curcio to lead off this fourth inning. He went the other way with it, kind of a looper into shallow left, out of the reach of Lopez, the third baseman, and Curcio has himself a single.
This back third of the order for the Oilmen has been taking some really good at-bats tonight, and Curcio just continued that trend with a good piece of contact there, going opposite field. Not the hardest hit ball, but it was enough to draw the defense away, drop fairly, and allow him to get on base here.
5-3 Giants, bottom of inning number 4. The Oilmen out-hitting Chicago 6-4. Here's a pickoff throw to first, not in time. Neither team has been afraid to put runners in motion so far tonight.
Especially for the Oilmen trailing 2, maybe you get a little aggressive here. If you got a feel for how Jones is delivering his pitches, you want to try to advance them here and put them in scoring position so you don't need tons of contact to get those runs across.
Here's a pitch taken high for a ball, 1-0. 5-3 Giants as we play bottom of inning number 4. Here's the 1-0. This is taken for a strike, and the count 1-1.
So Horniman was a victim to one of the wackier plays last time up, but he still made a really good play, getting on base with a single, and he's trying to add another hit here with Curcio on base.
Yeah, he singled and then was cut down on that unusual fielder's choice. Here's the 1-1. This is inside for a ball, 2-1.
Horniman's someone we see, even though he's a younger hitter, takes really mature at-bats. He doesn't go chasing at stuff outside the zone. He tries to make a lot of contact, but can also work some walks here. He can develop into a pretty good player.
2 balls and a strike on Horniman. Here comes the 2-1. This is high and in for a ball, 3-1. (5-3) the score in favor of the Giants. 3 balls and 1 strike. The Oilmen trying to create a real threat if Horniman can find a way to reach. Nobody out in this inning. And a 3-ball count on the hitter. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. This is taken for strike 2 call. We go full at 3-2.
Horniman working the distance here from Jones, laying off that one just at the outside corner. Could have been a trickier one if you made contact with it. Now we'll see what the payoff pitch looks like out of the right-hander's hand.
Long set, and his payoff. Runner goes. It's behind him. Ball 4 anyway. So it's a walk to Horniman, and Curcio will advance to second on the base on balls. And now the Oilmen with a real scoring chance here with runners at first and second and nobody out.
And this is really what you like to see from your 7, 8, 9 hitters so far. In their first 5 at-bats, they've gotten on base in 4 of those. There was the strikeout to Curcio in the second inning, but outside of that, they've been able to get on base so far. And here comes Famakannon trying to make that 5 of 6 here.
5-3, the score in favor of the Giants. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Oilmen trying to perhaps put up a big inning. Here's a pitch on the way, high for a ball on the count 1-0. Things have calmed down since pricing came into the game as the Giants did not score in the third nor the fourth. That's given the offense the opportunity, and they took advantage in the third with 2 runs and now have another big-time scoring chance here in this 4th inning. A lot of high-scoring games between these 2 teams this season. The 1-0, high for a ball, 2-0.
And it's not particularly because of bad pitching or anything either, just because these offenses are able to get up to some big innings and some late comebacks result in these high scores.
Sure. The Oilmen have come from behind twice, and they have walked off the Giants twice on this field this season, including last time where there were some mistakes. Here the runners go, the 2-0, outside for ball 3. They're not even going to try. Never going to get him. Double steal. Credit Curcio a stolen base. Horniman the same as he swipes second. Now a base hit could tie this game.
This is so big for the Oilmen. Get both of those runners in scoring position, still with nobody out. You have Famakannon, who can make some good contact and try to rip run into the gap and get both of them across here to tie things up.
I mean, to steal third without a throw. What a jump for the speedy Curcio. Here's the 3-0. This is taken for a strike called on the inner portion. The count 3-1.
Famakannon thought he had that one inside, started making the walk over to first, but now he'll have to step back in for the 3-1 delivery.
5-3 Giants, but a base hit could tie this game with runners at second and third and nobody out here in this 4th inning. The 3-1 to Famakannon. is swung on and lifted foul out of play. And now battling from behind 3-0 in the count is Jones to make it full at 3-2.
The Oilmen just trying to put pressure on Jones, not only getting runners on base, but taking long at-bats from him. They're starting to work his pitch count and trying to get to this American Giant bullpen early.
And speaking of that bullpen, there's going to be somebody lumbering down the left field line and loosening and trying to get ready to potentially come in this game. Here comes the 3-2. This is low and outside for ball 4. He walked him. And now the bases are full of Oilmen with nobody out here in the 4th. And the top of the order is due next.
It's big for the Oilmen. Get your 7, 8, and 9 hitters all on base. Nobody out yet here. And bringing Kyle Radcliffe, who was already belted out a double today. One of the newer additions to the team, but somebody that can swing a good bat we've seen so far.
Velos, the catcher, out to the mound to try to get Jones back on track. Radcliffe trying to come through with the bases full. 1 for 2 on the day. As you mentioned, double and a run scored. He stole a base in the first as well. Radcliffe, the leadoff batter for the Oilmen, stands in. First pitch to him, swinging a line drive to center. Is going to get down, and everybody's going to advance 90 feet safely. Throw is cut off. Run scores. It's a 5-4 game. The runners had to hold initially, so no chance to score from second for Horniman. He goes to third safely. Curcio comes in and scores. Famacannon moves up 90 feet. Runs, scoring single. Kyle Radcliffe, and we have a 5-4 game.
That was one because of where it was hit by Radcliffe. The Oilmen didn't want to venture too far away from the bags in case they had to come back and tag up, so they were only able to score 1, but they still have the potential for more here with Kyle Tyler, who hit that triple last time up, someone who can really get off to a good heater. Could try to put some more runs across the board here.
5-4 Giants, but still nobody out. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss. And the count 0-1.
Looked like Tyler was trying to change the game with that one swing there. Going pretty aggressive for it, but just getting fooled on one lower in the zone.
Yeah, he was thinking about 8-5 with that swing. No balls and 1 strike, the count. Here's the pitch from Jones. Low for a ball. Tyler, the Andrean high school product, was a state champion in his senior season of high school this year. He'll play at Valpo beginning this coming year. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bases full. Nobody out. One of the young guys in the league, just done with his senior season of high school. Here's the 1-1 pitch to him. Swing and a miss. He took a healthy hack again, and now the count is in favor of Jones at 1-2.
He's made a pretty good transition from high school to college ball here as he's batting .375 through just a few games with the Oilmen, but just looks very confident at the plate.
1-2. Oilmen runners lead from all 3 bases, with the Giants clinging to a 5-4 lead, but the lead is precarious to say the least. Here comes the 1-2 to Tyler. He swings and pops this up. It's in foul territory. It's Leslie underneath it. The first baseman makes the catch, and that is the first out of the inning. It's not a strikeout, but it's as good as one for Jones, as the runners have to hold at all 3 bases.
That was big for Jones there, getting the fly out on foul territory. That was one where if it was in fair territory, you run the risk of somebody tagging up or a misplay that results in the base runners to advance. So the fact that that was foul and it was caught allows the Oilmen to walk away with an out there and not threaten to score any runs.
But you have the right guy up right now. He is 2 for 2, single, double, and an RBI in each plate appearance for David Marshall. He's up to 14 RBIs for the year, and he can add to that total right here. He takes low and in for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes.
Marshall's been able to fashion out a good role for him in the 2 spot this season. Doing a good job of driving in runners, makes good contact to all parts of the field, and has great speed on the base paths. This is who you want up with the bags full.
Middle infield back, of course, looking for something they can turn with 1 out in this inning and the bases loaded. Corners pinched in at the edge of the grass. Here's the 1-0. Low for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. And there's nowhere to put Marshall in this spot, so you have a chance to get some real pitches to hit in this count. This is where you look for something you can do some real damage with on this 2-0 pitch, as Jones has fallen behind. Giants led 5-1. That lead is now 5-4, with the bases full of Oilmen and 1 away here in this 4th inning. Now time call. Pace has slowed a bit. We'll play some sound effects in the background. Now we're ready for action to resume. Here comes the 2-0. Swing and a miss. And the count 2-1.
Marshall just with a big hack there, not able to catch up with the off-speed pitch, maybe lower in the zone. But we see he's someone that doesn't go chasing for a lot of pitches. He forces the pitcher to throw strikes on the mound, so we'll see how Jones battles against him in the plate.
2 balls and 1 strike. 1 out. 5-4 Giants. Jones comes back to Marshall 2-1. This is taken for strike 2 call. The count evens at 2-2.
Well, Marshall didn't even contest on that one. If he tried to swing on it, that was probably going to be near the hands and just chopped away. So that was pretty close inside for strike 2.
2-2. Here's the break-even pitch. This one's outside for a ball. We go full at 3-2. Big pitch coming up.
Another lengthy at-bat for the Oilmen here. Really just putting the pressure on Jones with the bases loaded.
Radcliffe, the runner at first. Fama Cannon at second and Horniman at third. 3-2 on David Marshall. 1 out, and the Oilmen down by a run. Here's the payoff pitch. This is taken outside. It forces in a run. This ball game is tied at 5. Marshall is third RBI of the game. This one comes on a walk on a full count pitch. It forces in Horniman. Fama Cannon to third and Radcliffe to second, and now it's a 5-5 tie in the 4th.
Good job there by Marshall to keep the line moving for the Oilmen, tie things up here, just taking a lot of pitches and now putting them in another spot with the bases loaded. He just didn't make any mistakes there, wasn't grounding into any double plays, wasn't chasing anything outside the zone, doing his job there and taking what Jones was giving him.
Zarnacki is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch his first time. He popped up in foul territory his second time. He takes high and in for a ball to count 1-0. 1 out and the bases full. Oilmen 5 and the Giants 5. One ball and no strikes, 1 out as we play inning number 4. Here's the 1-0. This is swung on and popped up. It is going to be in foul territory, and it's caught by the third baseman, Lopez. So that is the second out of the inning, and that comes with the runners holding at all 3 bases. So the Giants a real chance to minimize the damage as now the inning rests on the shoulders of Chaz Clark.
You figure for Jones and the American Giants, if you get out of this spot with only 2 runs across, you have to be relieved. The fact that if the Oilmen don't completely break it open, you still have a chance to escape this jam with the score tied. We'll see what Chaz Clark has to say about that.
Runners lead at all 3 bases, 5-5 tie, bottom of inning number 4. Here comes the first pitch to Clark, big swing and a miss, and the count 0-1. Oilmen have tied the game. They have come from 4 runs down with 2 in the 3rd and 2 in the 4th, but they would love to grab the lead with this 4th inning opportunity. Here's the 0-1. Swinging a tapper foul right side, and the count 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs. Ahead in this count is Jones. He has not been consistently ahead, but he has gotten ahead of Clark right here. Here's a 2-strike pitch. It's high for a ball, 1-2.
The Oilmen have really just been working a lot of long counts. We saw that in the Marshall at-bat, the Curcio at-bat in this inning, and many more. They didn't have a lot of walks coming into this frame, but now are starting to force Jones to issue some free passes up there.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So the Oilmen settle for the 2 runs. They do it on 2 hits, and they leave the maximum. We have played 4. It's the Oilmen 5 and the Giants 5. Leo will have it for you when we come back on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Football legend Tom Flores, a.k.a. the Iceman, a.k.a. the first Latino quarterback and head coach ever, a.k.a. why isn't he in the Hall yet? Well, Coors Light is going to do something about it.
I'll drink to that. I am a success.
I am the future.
I am.
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 I am Ivy Tech Community College.
Are you?
You guys are crushing it. See how 8 grams of healthy protein in Land of Frost premium meat gives you energy and keeps you full. Let's get those buns toasting, bread. Cheese, 10 more. Go.
I'm getting shredded.
Make the smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
Safety doesn't come in a box. It's not a banner that goes on a wall. It's not something you do now and then, or when it's convenient. It's using state-of-the-art simulators to better prepare for any situation. It's giving offshore teams onshore support, and it's empowering anyone to stop a job if something doesn't seem right. At BP, safety is never being satisfied, and always working to be better.
Welcome back to Oil City Stadium for the top of the 5th inning here. This is Leo Staudacher and James Dorr with you here as the Oilmen now have tied the score up at 5 as Chris Seropian gets set to throw for the Oilmen here. We'll have more on him in just a second, but James for the Oilmen, that was an inning where it looked like you really could have made it lopsided, but for the American Giants, they were able to minimize the damage, only allowing 2 runs and left the Oilmen with the maximum on base.
Yeah, for Jones, you got to be really fortunate that you're able to get out of that inning with only 2 runs. And for the Oilmen, kind of a missed opportunity there with 3 guys left on base, especially leaving the bases with the maximum. So looking for a quick inning for the Oilmen to kind of get back on the bats.
And for the Oilmen on the mound, it will be Chris Seropian, the left-hander, coming into the lineup. We saw him in the Midwest Collegiate League last season with the Southland Vikings. Now he trades the red and white of Southland for the black and yellow of Northwest Indiana. He appeared in 4 games for the Vikes last season, throwing 17 2/3 innings with a record of 0-1 on the year, and earned run average just over 7. He struck out 24 while walking just 9 for the Southpaw. That's a good strikeout to walk ratio with the 24-9 as he gets ready for his first pitch to Gazillo. This one misses and rolls off the backstop for a 1-0.
Yeah, if you're Gazillo here, you're kind of just looking for get something started here for the Giants and just kind of start the inning off the right way. To kind of get some momentum going.
The Giants, it was 3 in the first, 2 in the second, and they've been dormant since as Gazillo fouls this one away. Evens count at 1-1. This one went back off the netting up behind home plate.
Yeah, if you're the Giants here, just looking for some production out of that bottom of the order.
The 1-1 from Seropian, swing and miss for strike 2. That was one with a little bit of juice on it. Fastball out of the hand of Seropian. Gazillo last time up grounded out to Fumagalli at third base and struck out in the first. Puts this one in the air, back onto the concourse here. The count stays at 1-2. The Giants have gone down relatively quickly the past 2 innings, but they could be still primed for a big outburst here as Gazillo goes down swinging there, chasing one low in the zone for strike 3. That will be the first out of the 5th inning.
For Seropian there, he got ahead in the count and got a quick out, which has been a big struggle for the Oilmen today, so it's a good sign for their pitching staff to see that.
That was good, too, where he was mixing up the locations. He went high with a few pitches, then for the put-away pitch, just going low in the zone, kept Gazillo guessing, as now he goes quickly through the windup to the next batter, Lopez, for a ball there. Did not waste much time there. Basically, right when Lopez stepped into the box, he was firing on him. Another quick windup here. This one's chopped away foul on the first base side. Lefty-on-lefty matchup here as Lopez, the second baseman, 0 for 2 so far today with a strikeout and a ground out. Facing Seropian here. Now kicks and fires towards the plate. His 1-1 pitch spiked away for ball 2.
Yeah, you notice Seropian's really kind of going real quick. As soon as the batter's getting in the box, he's getting ready to go. So he's really trying to have a tempo here.
It's sometimes hard for a batter to read. The 2-1 from Seropian. Put in the air, foul, evens it at 2-2. We saw maybe some pitchers with slower deliveries earlier in the game, which that has its advantages too. But then with Seropian kind of going through the quick pitching here, that's hard for you to time up because you're trying to load up and get the read of the ball quickly as the 2-2.
Yeah, as a batter, you really got to be ready to go.
That one was in there for strike 3. Lopez goes down looking, one that just grabbed the upper inside edge of the strike zone.
Yeah, as a batter in that situation, you really just got to try to control the tempo and kind of ask for time from the umpire a little bit there to kind of take back control of the at-bat there. You don't want the pitcher controlling it.
So now Seropian has struck out the first two American Giants he's faced. This one to Wallace Vasquez. I believe time was called, so Seropian just wasted it, or just threw that one as he was already beginning his motion. So now we get ready for the first pitch. And here it is. That misses outside for ball one to Vasquez, who has walked a pair of times and scored a run this evening. Seropian coming out of the bullpen firing here. 1-0, swing and a miss for strike one. 2 big strikeouts to start your day. That really helps, especially not wasting a lot of pitches on those either.
Yeah, let's see if Seropian here can put it away. It's been a struggle for Oilmen pitcher to get outs here with 2 outs.
That one was high for a ball, makes it 2-1. As the Oilmen looking for their first 1-2-3 inning defensively of this ball game. Swing and miss for strike 2 there. So now 2s across the board here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. All tied up at 5 here in the top of the 5th inning. Seropian out of the windup towards the plate. Low for ball 3, so we'll go full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Vasquez, who's worked a pair of walks already today. Looking for a third against Seropian. Here it comes. That's outside for ball 4. Good 2-out at bat from the 8-hitter Vasquez.
Yeah, it's been a real struggle for Oilmen pitchers to put away to get that final out here to get their bats going again. So let's see if Seropian.
We've seen the Oilmen pitchers have issued 8 walks so far today. That's something that really adds up over the ballgame. And now there's a substitution for the American Giants. Nick Avelos, the catcher, was supposed to be up here, but now we will see a newer addition. This will be number 22, Colin Leslie, coming into the box here. And he takes his first pitch from Seropian for a ball.
Yeah, coming in as a pinch hitter can be difficult. You're really just trying to get your bat on the ball and get a piece of contact here, advance the base runner.
And the 1-0 away for ball 2. This could be a good spot to put in a pinch hitter facing a new pitcher because nobody in the lineup's seen Seropian yet tonight, so you're able to still get a fresh look on him. It's not like you're coming in facing the starter where your teammates have seen him 2-3 times already. Everybody's getting the restart here as that one misses for ball 3. So the count moves to 3 balls and no strikes with 2 away here in the top of the 5th. Seropian steps off the rubber, comes back on, stares down the right-handed batter, Leslie. Looks over to the runner at first and speeds one in for a strike to make the count 3-1. See, Vasquez on first base has scored in the 2nd inning. He made his way all the way over to second in the 3rd. So this one's put in the air. Could be. This one goes foul onto the concourse. So the count now is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Seropian battled his way right back into it.
Yeah, great thing. Being a pinch hitter, you really just want to work the count and really just start seeing as many pitches as you can, just kind of coming cold off the bench. It's an important thing.
And the payoff pitch, that's high for ball 4. So back-to-back walks from Seropian will bring the top of the order up with 2 outs. Kind of similar to what we saw in the 3rd inning from Pricing, where he got 2 big ground outs, then a walk and a single brought the top up, where Gazda was retired to end that frame. But the Oilmen looked like they were off to a quick 1-2-3 inning, and now the American Giants just hanging around here.
Yeah.
And Seropian's first pitch to Gazda is high for a ball.
Yeah, Leo, as you kind of brought up earlier, it's been a continued theme throughout the day, a quick 1-2, and just really been struggling for the Oilmen pitching staff to get that final out.
That makes it so hard for a pitcher, too, as Seropian prepares for his 1-0 delivery out of the stretch, high for ball 2. You think you're out of an inning, then you have to just get up there and keep working, especially with relievers. There's a certain element of you're coming out of the bullpen fired up, just going max effort for a few pitches, so the longer you have to go, the more you kind of have to work up there, as he's got the 2-0 count here. This one high for ball 3, so 3 quick pitches outside the zone from Seropian.
Yeah, it's a taxing thing, especially on the arm of the relievers, not used to going so deep into games and probably not used to throwing this many pitches.
So the left-hander, Seropian, kicks towards the plate, gets that one in for a strike, a bit of a delayed call, but that will make the count 3-1 and give him a chance to fight back into this at-bat against Gazda, who has reached base twice so far today. Pair of doubles, or a walk and a double, I should say. As this one's fouled away, so we go full again. 3 straight full counts from the American Giants after 2 quick strikeouts.
Yeah, if you're the Giants, Gazda's a great guy to have up, as you spoke to earlier. Leo has already got a double on the day, hitting .333 on the season as well, so having a really solid day. and season.
So now the payoff pitch from Seropian, fired towards the plate, puts this one in the air, foul, so we'll do it over again.
Once again, you're just seeing these Giants just continue to work the pitch count. You know, been seeing a lot of pitches all day and just really working this Oilmen pitching staff and getting a lot of pitchers through. So really going deep into that bullpen, which can be tough given the Oilmen bullpen having to do so much work over these past couple days.
And that's big, getting the foul ball with a full count, because Seropian likely has an idea for what he wants to do for that put-away pitch. Now he has to just think again and adjust as we get ready for the 3-2. Yet again, had start time for the base runners. This one's fouled away, so we'll do it again.
We're seeing another great at-bat by the Giants. Gazda continuing the theme for the Giants of just continuing to work the count, continuing, just keep fighting, keep fouling off pitches.
Well, they haven't scored since the second inning. They are trying to threaten here. They have Vasquez on second base and Leslie on first. And now the payoff pitch. This one's put in the air towards right field. Calling for it is Radcliffe, and he gets under it, secures it for the catch. So after a pair of base runners, the American Giants are unable to send anything home. So the score remains knotted up at 5 through 5.5. You're following along on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Football legend Tom Flores, a.k.a. the Iceman, a.k.a. the first Latino quarterback and head coach ever, a.k.a. why isn't he in the hall yet? Well, Coors Light is going to do something about it.
I'll drink to that.
I am a success.
I am the future.
I am.
I am.
I am. I am.
I am.
I am.
I am. I am.
I am Ivy Tech Community College.
Are you?
You guys are crushing it. See how 8 grams of healthy protein in Land of Frost premium meat gives you energy and keeps you full. Let's get those buns toasted, bread. Cheese, 10 more. Go.
I'm getting shredded.
Make the smart choice. Land of Frost premium meat.
These natural gas teams use smart app technology to share data from any well instantly, so they can analyze trends and stop potential problems in their tracks, because safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
We're back here for the bottom of the 5th inning at Oil City Stadium, where the American Giants now make their first move to the bullpen. It will be Austin Crocker, the sidearm throwing right-hander, appearing for his 4th time this season, the first against the Oilmen. He is 0-1 on the year with a rather large earned run average through 2 innings pitched. He has struck out 1, walking 4, and allowing 8 hits. His last appearance was June 22nd against the Crestwood Panthers, where he went 1, allowing 1 run on 1 hit and striking out 1. And now he's facing an Oilman offense that's been getting off to a good rhythm these past 2-3 innings.
Yeah, I think Crocker, is a good change of pace, especially against this Oilman lineup that's kind of been facing a typical right-handed pitcher. Kind of now going with the sidearm, as you brought up. It's a good change of pace and kind of gives the hitters a different look to see in terms of pitching-wise.
It'll be a different arm slot, so you're reading the ball out of his hand differently, and sometimes that allows the ball to take a different spin on it, too, when it's coming at a lower spot where the traditional curveball is coming from higher up. This one's breaking at a lower peak, I guess. So for the Oilmen, it'll be Fumagalli, Curcio, and Horniman, the 1, 2, 3 here, the 6, 7, 8 hitters. And how about the production from the back third of the Oilmen lineup? Through their first 6 at-bats, 5 of them have gotten on base. They've scored 2 runs. That's always big for a lineup when you can get the back 3 to get on base and give you a chance to score runs.
Yeah, the back 3 is kind of the reason why the Oilmen have really been getting back into this game, as they've kind of really been keeping innings alive, and a lot of great 2-out hitting today we've seen from numerous guys in the bottom of the lineup. Curcio especially has had a great day.
So Fumagalli in his first game with his second stint with the Oilmen will lead things off. The right-hander getting ready to step in after Crocker gets his final warm-up tosses in. This will be the first time he faces the Oilmen this season on the mound. As the Oilmen looking to break through this 5-5 deadlock in the bottom of the 5th. And now Fumagalli gets ready. Crocker out of his windup, fires this one low, one outside for ball 1.
Yeah, if you're Fumagalli here, just trying to get some start for the Oilmen and kind of break this tie up, so just kind of putting the putting something in play.
He's 0 for 2 so far as Crocker begins his delivery. This one just grabs the corner of the zone for strike one. He flew out to center field to end the first inning and grounded out to short to end the third inning. This is the first time he's batting the start inning. The previous two came with 2 away. So now the 1-1 delivery from Crocker. One low for ball, so it'll be 2-1. As we see Crocker just trying a different type of delivery than most of the other pitchers in the league. That can be a unique element to a bullpen. The 2-1. This one's sent over to third base where Lopez gets a handle on it, throws the first in time. It'll be a put out to start the 5th inning here.
You know, as a pitcher coming in, it's so key to get that first out, just build a rhythm and just kind of help you help your momentum, especially for Crocker coming out of the bullpen. So it could be a good sign for him for things to come.
So that's the first out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Curcio comes to the box here. He's 1 for 2 so far with a strikeout back in the second and a single. Eventually came around and scored in the 4th. As now the first pitch from Crocker. One's away for ball 1. Curcio comes into this game batting 183 on the season, has walked 20 times, second on the team in that category. He's also scored 15 runs. The 1-0. This one's put in the air, possibly playable for the third baseman Lopez. He's going to camp under it, and he makes the grab there for the second out of the inning.
You know, you see what Crocker's doing. He's really pitching to contact, keeping his pitch count low, and just letting his fielders help him out. So it's pitching to contact's really been a key for Crocker so far in the early going.
That's something we see a lot of pitchers where they're pitching around the zone, just trying to nail their spots, but some of the best pitchers in the league are the ones that can trust their defense and pitch for that contact and just let them help out and make those outs. Not everything has to be a strikeout. As the first pitch from Crocker is in there for a strike to Colin Horniman. So the Oilmen catcher is down 0-1. He has a single and a walk this evening. The 0-1.
You know, and you see why Crocker was put in. Each of the first pitches by each of the Oilmen batters have been taken for a strike. So it's been an interesting trend to follow so far.
Counts at 1-1, 2 away here. This misses low for ball 2. To the right-hander Horniman, a righty-on-righty matchup. Horniman also scored in the 4th. The Oilmen are tied 5-5 with the American Giants, and here comes the 2-1. That's inside, and it clips Horniman, so he'll be hit by a pitch to extend this inning.
Common theme just from both sides. Once again, 2 quick outs, and then just really been struggling to put away that third. We'll see if Crocker can get out of here.
Yeah, that third out is always the toughest one to get, especially facing a part of the Oilman lineup that's been working good at bats as Tyler Famacanon comes up here. He reached on that fielder's choice back in the 2nd inning and walked back in the 4th. He takes a strike in the first pitch he sees from Crocker.
Yeah, again, it's such a key at bat here. If Famacanon can get on base here, it'd bring up the top of the order of the Oilmen. Help bring in some runs.
They're tied at 5 here. The 0-1. That misses for a ball. Evens count at 1-1. Famacanon, he provided the walk-off single back in a previous game here between the Oilmen and American Giants. So that one came in the bottom of the 9th inning. He's looking to put them ahead here midway through the 5th. The 1-1. This one's sent over the third baseline. That goes foul for strike 2. Count now sits at 1-2 to the Oilman shortstop.
Yeah, if you're the Oilmen here, just trying to start building that lead here and just move, just trying to advance the base runner and keep this inning going, really.
Crocker looks down to his catcher for the sign. Now settles on the mound, gets into his set position, fires towards the plate, outside for ball 2. This one played on the dirt, keeps Horniman at first base.
So far today, Crocker's been doing a really good job of mixing up his locations, going in and working the inside and outer part of the zone. So really painting the corners right now.
Keeping things low is he as well, as the 2-2 is sent out to left field on a flare, and that drops. Famacanon just was able to take that out to left field for a 2-out single. Advances Horniman second.
That was a great piece of 2-strike hitting, not trying to do too much, just trying to put the ball in play and just kind of just puts it where people aren't. So just finds a little gap there in the left field blooper.
Yeah, that was one where it was hit shallow to left field. There wasn't a play to be made there. So the left fielder had to just let it roll to him, and now 2 away here. The leadoff hitter, Kyle Radcliffe, in the box. He's 2 for 3 so far with an RBI and has scored a run. He steps in here, the lefty on righty matchup. Crocker settles on the mound. Now goes towards the plate. Radcliffe just lays off that one for a ball.
For you're Radcliffe here, it's exactly the guy you want up, as you brought up earlier. Already brought in an RBI today, so hoping to add to that total.
He has Horniman on second base and Famacanon on first. The Oilmen have 2 men on, 2 out. They are tied with the American Giants at 5-5. Here comes the 1-0. Swing and a miss for strike 1, but this gets away from the catcher. So both base runners will trot over and advance on the pass ball there.
It's really a great opportunity for the Oilmen. Once again, have runners in scoring position. Really would be a good time to take advantage of here as Radcliffe just trying to put something in play here. Base hit, probably scores 2.
And they're looking to take their first lead of the ball game. The American Giants scored 3 in the first, 2 in the second. The Oilmen answered with 1 in the first, then put up 2 in the third and 2 in the fourth to tie us up at 5 here. They're looking to take the lead as Crocker prepares for his 1-1 pitch. Hurls this one towards the plate. Radcliffe lays off it for a ball, makes the count 2-1. For the base runners, Horniman, coming in this game, has scored 9 times on the season, and Famacanon has scored 10. So they're looking to increase their run totals. The 2-1 from Crocker. This one's chopped right back up to the pitcher. He's going to run over towards the bag. The underhand toss, I think he just stepped on the bag himself, actually, for the put out there. So he took an adventure off the mound and was able to get the third out. So the Oilmen put 2 men on, but aren't able to send anything across the plate. Through 5, we're tied up at 5. You're following along on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
I've never seen ads on top of the roof where it's helping the community.
This place teaches you to be genuine, to be the same person today as you were yesterday. People from Indiana, they're pretty comfortable with who they are. And you know, I think that puts the people around them at ease to be comfortable with who they are.
The values that built Indiana are here in Strachan Van Til. We're Indiana's grocery store, and we're proud to be Indiana made.
These days, it's recommended that you keep your social circle small. Of course, as the original light beer, we've always recommended that. It's Miller time.
Back at Oil City Stadium with Leo Staudaher. Brandon Vickery back with you. David Bork and James Dorr are with us as well. It's a 5-5 tie through 5 at Oil City Stadium. And there's a new pitcher on the mound for the Oilmen. Silas Noe is completing his warm-up tosses. He comes on in relief of Seropian, who made his Oilman debut. He was coming back from an injury this summer, so that delayed the start of his summer season. He logs a shutout inning, walking 2 and striking out 2. Earlier, Tyler Pricing went 2 1/3 innings, allowing just 2 hits. He did not allow a run, walking 1 and striking out none. But now it's the 4th Oilman pitcher of the day, and that is Silas Noe.
And Silas Noe is someone that when he keeps the strikeouts down can be an effective pitcher out of the pen for the Oilmen. He had a really good outing back on June 20th against the Vikings, going 3 innings, striking out 4, and allowing no runs on just 2 hits.
Get you the Northern League scoreboard for the day here in just a moment as warm-up toss is still being completed by Silas Noe before we get this 6th inning underway in a 5-5 tie. The Lake County Corn Dogs are leading again. Their outstanding pitching staff is up to its old tricks. The Corn Dogs lead the Panthers by a 3-0 score in the top of inning number 9. Elsewhere, 9th inning, it's the Vikings all over the Joliet Generals by a 8-5 score, as a game may have gone final by this hour. And it's actually a fairly close game. I said all over, but they lead it by a score of 8-5 as I look a little closer here. So all competitive games in the league tonight, including this one here with the Giants and the Oilmen tied at 5 as we take it to inning number 6. It was a game that the Giants led by a 5-1 score before the Oilmen came back with 2 in the third and 2 in the fourth to tie this game. And now it's up to whichever bullpen is stronger over the next 4 innings.
We've seen both teams have now gone to the pen. The American Giants with the league leading earned run average, and the Oilmen, they have had some strong pitching arms this season, and Noe is going to try to continue the trend for the Oilmen here.
Here's a strike in the count, 0-1.
But you have to like what you saw from Pricing to work through an early appearance. Then Chris Seropian had a really good inning in the 5th, and now sets the table for Noe here in the 6th.
No balls and a strike on Naha. Here comes the 0-1. This is high and in for a ball. The count 1 ball and 1 strike. We will take a look at this date in Oilman history here in this 6th inning. Tell you about some of the occurrences on this date. And a couple of them involving former Oilman lefty Jordan Petty. Here's the 1-1. It's a strike call. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just did catch the zone. Stepping out here is Naha. Before we tell you about Petty, we'll tell you about a 2013 game. Reached the bottom of the 9th inning with no score between the Oilmen and the Michigan City Lakers here at Oil City Stadium. Rashawn Tillman. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nice job to fan Naha by Noe in the Noe-Naha matchup, and it belongs to Noe, and that's the first out of the 6th inning.
And that's what you want coming out of the bullpen for a reliever, starting your appearance off with a strikeout. That's what worked very well for Seropian back in the 5th inning, and now Noe's trying to continue that trend.
1 out and the base is clear. 5-5 tie here in the 6th. Here's the pitch taken for a strike, and the count 0-1. But Rashawn Tillman in the bottom of the 9th inning lifting a sacrifice fly to send the Oilmen to a walk-off victory on this date 9 years ago today, back in 2013. Here's the 0-1. This is outside for a ball. It was on this date in 2016 that Jordan Petty, who had been coming out of the bullpen for the Oilmen, had just graduated from Highland High School at the time. Now he has ended his college career. I believe he's in law enforcement. He might be here for police and fire night. This is a tapper foul on the count 1 ball and 2 strikes, if I'm not mistaken. Jordan Petty is a police officer, I think. Anyway, on this date back in 2016, he was an incoming freshman at that time, and he earned the victory as the Oilmen beat the Bobcats on the road by a 7-3 score. This is high and in for a ball. He'd come out of the bullpen before that, but it was his first start of the season. It was a spot start, his first start at the college level. He was the winning pitcher of that game. He was very efficient, and Oilman and manager Adam Enright liked what they saw out of Petty in that game. And then he became a part of the starting rotation the rest of the season. Here's the 2-2. This is swung on and fouled out of play right side. And eventually he was the winning pitcher in the championship game of the Midwest Collegiate League Championship Series, the clinching game, allowing just 3 hits in 8 shutout innings. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count in that game on this date, and then he eventually threw a complete game in that championship clinching game. Here's the 2-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts here by Noe to start this inning.
Noe's coming out looking good out of the bullpen, has good action on his fastball, has been able to spot that around the zone and put it in positions where the American Giants aren't able to catch up on it. That one was high and out away from the plate, and that was just rising. The velocity was rising with the location.
So Carter strikes out swinging, 2 outs and nobody on. Here's the pitch on the way. Taken for a strike, but on this date he again allowed 3 hits and 8 shutout innings, had 10 strikeouts. Adam Enright saying after he had never seen as many swings and misses in a ball game against an Oilman pitcher in the 5 years at that time he'd been around the team. Here's the 0-1, low for a ball on the count, 1-1. And eventually Petty was the winning pitcher, throwing a complete game in a memorable, decisive 3rd game against the DuPage County Hounds in the championship series. This is high for a ball, 2-1.
It's one of the fun things about the playoffs is getting to see the managers kind of use their pitchers more like there is a championship on the line, letting a guy go for a complete game, and that's where Oilman legends are made, I guess.
2-1 on Leslie. Here's the pitch on the way, low for a ball. And then he was away from the Oilmen for a while. He pitched at several different colleges. And then Petty, on this date in 2019, was back with the Oilmen during the 2019 season. And he was the winning pitcher on this date in 2019 as well, with 6 2/3 innings to earn the victory. Here's the 3-1. This is swung on and lifted foul out of play. The count goes full at 3-2.
It's always a unique thing to be featured in this date in Oilman history 2 times in the same date. I guess it's easier for a position player to do that. You know, someone like Chris Baker is with the team multiple times, but for a pitcher to be up throwing on the same day in multiple seasons.
Yeah, there you go. 2 outs and the base is clear. Trying to strike out the side. Here's the pitch on the way. Taken for strike 3 called. Leslie is caught looking, and striking out the side in convincing fashion is Noe in that inning. And the Giants don't score. We've played 5.5. It's 5-5 on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
I've never seen ads on top of the roof where it's helping the community.
This place teaches you to be genuine, to be the same person today as you were yesterday.
Keep your social circle small. Of course, as the original light beer, we've always recommended that. It's Miller time.
Back for the bottom of the 6th. A few defensive changes to pass along to you that occurred actually in the 5th inning. Michael Johnson came into play second base. Then the second baseman Gazda moved from second to third. Here's a strike at the count 0-1. And so that's the new alignment of the Giant infield. Now the count, no balls and 1 strike on Kyle Tyler leading off the 6th inning. Here's the 0-1. This is swung on and lifted in the air towards center. Carter with a beat on it. He's under it. Now he's going back a few paces and backpedaling. He makes the catch for the first out of the 6th inning.
Tyler was able to make good contact with that one, but just put it right where the center fielder was standing. And then that one just wasn't able to drop. We saw him with a really good rip back in the 3rd inning that carried all the way almost to the wall. But that one just didn't have that same extra push that one got getting over Carter's head.
David Marshall with 1 out and the base is clear. 5-5 tie here in the bottom of inning number 6. This is bunted foul. Trying to lay one down there, Leo, is Marshall.
We've seen several Oilman players are very good at laying down those bunts. Marshall's one of the better ones, too, especially out of that left-handed box. When he gets one down the 3rd baseline, he's off to the races, but that one just missed there.
0-1, 1 out, 5-5 tie in the 6th. Here comes the 0-1. Low for a ball, and the count evens. 1 ball and 1 strike. How about that last half inning for Silas Noe striking out the side?
That was big for him, coming in there and just had some really good stuff on his pitches. That fastball was looking lively and was unable to catch up where any of the American Giant hitters.
The 1-1 low for a ball, and the count 2-1.
A good inning like that to kind of change the pace for the Oilmen, get a quick 1-2-3 inning for the first time this evening. Brings up their bats, trying to pick up where the defense left off.
Here's the set and the 2-1. Swinging a ground ball right side, base hit right field. This is out of the reach of the second baseman that we told you just came in the game, Johnson. and it's into right for a single.
Marshall, after showing bunt on the first pitch, instead decides to just do some swinging. And that's what makes him so effective, is he can get on base in a variety of ways. It sets the table well now for Kyle Zarnacki, who had a big day yesterday and is trying to continue that here against the American Giants. He drove in 2 runs in yesterday's loss to Joliet.
And you talk about Marshall getting on base in a variety of ways. He's gotten on base all 4 times tonight. Single in the first, double in the third, walks in both the 4th and 6th innings, as he is on for the 4th time here tonight, and he leads at first with 1 away. Swing and a miss by Zarnacki, and it's 0-1.
Marshall's just been someone so reliable for the Oilmen all season. Has been with the team since game 1 and just really just produces from all kinds of spots, defensively and offensively, and he was deservedly so named a Northern League All-Star.
Here's the 0-1 to him. And he gets hit by a pitch. He is hit. This it was one where I wasn't sure if they were going to say he did not make an effort to get out of the way, so I hesitated for just a moment, but indeed Zarnacki is awarded first base, and now runners are at first and second with only 1 away here in the 6th.
Now the Oilmen just trying to keep the line moving with Chaz Clark at the plate, looking for his first hit of the day with 2 men on. This is another really good chance to try to get the lead here.
The starters will have no decision today. That includes Jones of Chicago, who went 4 innings, allowing 5 runs. They were earned on 7 hits. He walked 3 and struck out 4. Now it's Austin Crocker, who is embarking upon his 2nd inning of work. Swing and a miss, and the count 0-1. A little bit of a different arm angle for Crocker, and that sometimes can be a challenge.
He's keeping the pitches low because of that arm angle, where we see him just with a low release point, so there's not going to be a lot of stuff high in the zone, so that forces the Oilmen where you're likely going to be putting stuff on the ground if you do make that contact. But they're just trying to get a feel for him right now.
Here's the 0-1. This is low for a ball on the count. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Clark here striking out his last 2 at-bats, is just trying to break through and get on base for the first time this evening.
Base hit could give the Oilmen the lead. A 5-5 tie in the 6th with runners leading at first and second. Another close game between the Oilmen and the Giants. The 1-1, low and in for a ball, 2-1. Two and one out. Runners take their leads from first and second. Two and one. Here's the pitch on the way. This is swung on and lifted foul off to the left, out of play. The count evens at 2-2.
We saw it in the last inning. We potentially could be seeing it again here, but the American Giants doing very well with runners on base. They've been able to weather some storms from some Oilmen and escape out of some jams where it felt like the home team could really break the game open.
2-2 on Clark. Here comes the break-even pitch. This is low and outside for a ball, and we go full at 3-2.
Good job by Clark working this count back full, trying to avoid his 3rd strikeout of the ball game and taking a lot of pitches here against Crocker.
5-5 tie in the 6th. Full count. Payoff pitch coming up. Here's Crocker's 3-2. This is high and outside for ball 4. The bases are full of Oilmen here in this 6th inning, as that'll bring up in his season debut, Anthony Fumagalli.
Still looking for his first hit of that season debut, and what a better spot than this one. With the bases loaded, just 1 out, all tied up at 5. This could be a great way to welcome yourself back to Oil City Stadium.
5-5 tie, 1 away. The last of inning number 6. Now time called. We'll reset everything here. In case you're just joining us, the Giants jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the top of the first and had a 5-1 lead through an inning and a half. This is taken low for a ball, but they have not scored since that point. Great job by the Oilmen bullpen tonight. Excellent. 2 runs for the Oilmen in the 3rd and 2 in the 4th. Now bases full of Oilmen with 1 away here in the 6th. The 1-0. Swinging a drive to right. This ball's going to get down. Oilmen lead the game. 1 run's going to come in and score. Round 3rd, Zarnacki. Here comes the throw. It's cut off. Go ahead, 2-run single. Anthony Fumagalli. Oilmen lead 7-5.
What a welcome back for Anthony Fumagalli here, giving the Oilmen the lead. That one was just a shot out to right field, dropped ahead of O'Connor out there. He had to, rather than go for broke, try to make the diving catch like we saw earlier, he just chose to play that one off the hop. That allowed for 2 runs to get across the plate. And now we saw Clark held up at second, Fumagalli staying put at first.
Dre Gilmore wants to make a pitching change, it appears. He is going to take the ball, and Crocker's day comes to an end after the 2-run single by Fumagalli here in this 6th inning. Still only 1 away, and the Oilmen still batting when we come back. It's the Oilmen 7, Giants 5. We'll tell you more about the new Giant pitcher after this on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
I've never seen ads on top of the roof where it's helping the community.
This place teaches you to be genuine, to be the same person today as you were yesterday. People from Indiana, they're pretty comfortable with who they are. And you know, I think that puts the people around them at ease to be comfortable with who they are.
The values that built Indiana are here in Strachan Van Til. We're Indiana's grocery store, and we're proud to be Indiana made.
These days, it's recommended that you keep your social circle small. Of course, as the original light beer, we've always recommended that. It's Miller time.
Safety isn't a list of boxes to check. It's taking the best technologies out there and adapting them to work for you. The ultrasound that can see inside patients can also detect early signs of corrosion at our refineries. High-tech military cameras that see through walls can inspect our pipelines to prevent leaks. Remote-controlled aircraft can help us identify potential problems and stop them in their tracks. At BP, safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better. BP's natural gas teams use smart app technology to share data from any well instantly, so they can analyze trends and stop potential problems in their tracks, because safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better. Safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Back at Oil City Stadium, where there's a new pitcher on the mound, the Giants have gone to the bullpen, and they have brought in their 3rd pitcher of the day. It's Anthony Scanlon. Scanlon is a right-hander, and he is on to work for Dre Gilmore's team here with 1 away in this 6th inning. The Oilmen have taken their first lead of the day a moment ago, and they lead it by a 7-5 score. Dom Curcio stands in. Runners at first and second. First pitch is ball 1.
Scanlon was with these American Giants last season, was one of their main starters, starting 6 games, 2 of them against the Oilmen. Now he comes in a bullpen role looking to try to stop some of the bleeding from this Oilmen offense.
1 ball and no strikes. Here's the pitch on the way, swinging a foul out of play, and the count 1-1.
But so now Crocker, after working a quick first inning, the Oilmen were able to round things around 3rd and get 2 across against him.
Runners at first and second. 1 away. Here's the 1-1. Low and outside for a ball, 2-1. 7-5 Oilmen in the bottom of inning number 6. They have 2 runs in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, and 2 in this 6th inning. That has allowed them to rally to take a 7-5 lead, their first lead of the game. Crocker is out. You can't close the book on him yet. Here's the 2-1. Here's a line foul. An inning and a 3rd, 3 hits. So far, 2 runs they're earned. 1 walk and no strikeouts.
Now for Curcio and the Oilmen, there's still potential for more. 2-run lead is good, but we've seen here, especially against the American Giants and across the league, a 2-run lead is nowhere close to safe. You want to try to continue to pad on it now that you've taken the lead.
2 balls and 2 strikes, the count here. Here's the 2-2. This is outside for a ball, 3-2.
For Curcio, second on the team in walks, just working with Scanlon's giving him here and taking a long at bat, getting a feel for the new pitcher, looking for another walk in this ball game.
Here's the set and the full count pitch. It's taken low and outside for ball 4. And base is full now, coming in to draw a walk here as Scanlon, or coming in and issuing a walk, I should say, as Scanlon, as Curcio draws it. And now the bags are full with only one away.
This puts the Oilmen in a good spot. The American Giants go to their bullpen, and they are able to work a walk and load the bases now against the new right-hander. Just trying to get out of this with the Oilmen already leading by 2.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Crocker is on the hook for the loss. He is responsible for 2 more. Scanlon delivers a strike, and the count 0-1. Seven-5 Oilmen, bottom of inning number 6. Here's the 0-1. Taken for strike 2 called, 0-2.
We're seeing Scanlon doing a good job of hitting some spots around the zone. He went low and inside, or low and outside for strike 1, and then high and inside for strike 2.
0-2. 1 away. 7-5 Oilmen. Here's a swing and a foul at the plate. The Oilmen have the lead, but you want to keep tacking on here.
Especially the way we've seen these games go back and forth between the two. Even on Saturday, the Oilmen went off to a 6-2 lead in the 7th inning. You figure things are probably pretty safe, but the American Giants just fought back in, made it a 6-5 game. The Oilmen were eventually able to close it out, but you know that they won't go down easy.
0-2, 7-5 Oilmen. 1 out, bases full. And time called. And we'll reset here. Game is really slowed down. Here comes the 0-2. This is taken low, check swing, and they appeal no swing, says Chris Berkey. The count 1-2.
Close call for Horniman as he checked up on it, but was able to pull back enough, didn't commit fully, and was able to live to fight another pitch there.
One and two. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. This is ball 2, 2-2.
Good take by Horniman there. That one was cutting away inside. Looked like it was maybe going to be in the zone, then dropped right before the plate for a ball.
2-2. Really taking a lot of time between each pitch here is Scanlon. He comes back and delivers the 2-2 pitch. It's low and in for a ball. We go full at 3-2. Now a payoff coming up. 1 out in this inning. And Oilmen runners at all 3 bases. Now Leslie is going to go out to have a word with Scanlon. Remember, Leslie came on as a pinch batter earlier. He stayed in the game to catch after he replaced Avelos in the 5th inning.
Scanlon on the mound, also a graduate of Mount Carmel High School, the same school Colin Horniman attended.
Yes.
Both are natives of the region, but made the commute to the land of Lincoln for high school. That's something Mount Carmel has done a very good job of doing.
Yeah, the Caravan.
There used to always be the rumor when I was in high school was Mount Carmel had some players from Indiana that had to repeat 8th grade 2 times, so they had older, bigger players, but I don't think that was too true.
3-2. I'll leave it to you to investigate that one. Runners take their leads from all 3 bases, 1 out. Here comes the payoff pitch. This is taken for strike 3 call. Out on strikes is Horniman for the 2nd out of the inning. Those are always fun, though, when you have battles here in this league between guys that have a history together, whether it's playing college ball together, high school, travel, or whatever the case is. There's a lot of connections between all the guys that play in this league.
That's what's fun to see, too. It does have a small world feel because, you know, baseball, you're kind of playing with the same guys for so long. You might be teammates with a guy one day and then competing against him the next day. So there's a little bit of friendly competition. Those are the at-bats you kind of savor a little more, too, when they get to happen.
Fama Cannon swings and grounds one slowly to short. Naha gloves it. He goes the short way. A close play, and the throw's in time. 6-4 in the fielder's choice, and the inning ends. But not before the Giants allow the lead to slip away. It's now 7-5 in favor of the Oilmen after 2 runs for Northwest Indiana on 2 hits, and they leave the maximum. We go to the 7th, 7-5 Oilmen on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
I've never seen ads on top of the roof where it's helping the community.
This place teaches you to be genuine, to be the same person today as you were yesterday. People from Indiana, they're pretty comfortable with who they are. And you know, I think that puts the people around them at ease to be comfortable with who they are.
The values that built Indiana are here in Strachan Van Til. We're Indiana's grocery store, and we're proud to be Indiana made.
These days, it's recommended that you keep your social circle small. Of course, as the original light beer, we've always recommended that. It's Miller time.
Safety isn't a list of boxes to check. It's taking the best technologies out there and adapting them to work for you. The ultrasound that can see inside patients can also detect early signs of corrosion at our refineries. High-tech military cameras that see through walls can inspect our pipelines to prevent leaks. Remote-controlled aircraft can help us identify potential problems and stop them in their tracks. At BP, safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
BP's natural gas teams use smart app technology to share data from any well instantly, so they can analyze trends and stop potential problems in their tracks, because safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Back at Oil City Stadium, we played 6 at 7-5 in favor of the Oilmen as we take it to inning number 7. As the Oilmen will try to hold on to the lead now. That's the new goal, Leo. They were clawing back from behind ever since the beginning of this game. When the Giants got 3 in the top of the first, it was 5-1 after an inning and a half. First pitch here is fly to left, underneath it, and gloving it for the first out of the inning is the left fielder Clark. 1 pitch and 1 away as O'Connor flies to left. Now it's Gazzillo due next.
And even though the Oilmen were trailing by a lot early, they didn't seem too flustered by that. They've just been able to work some at-bats, get runners on, just continue moving. They've been able to get double-digit hits and now take the lead. This has just been a long-haul effort from the Oilmen, but they're able to do it over the course of putting up 2 spots through a few different innings.
Here's a swing and a base hit to right, a line drive to right off the bat of Gazzillo as he lines a base hit into right field. And now it'll be Michael Johnson to bat. Remember, he came on to play second base earlier, so the second baseman, Michael Johnson, will stand in as Gazzillo singles with 1 away.
Gazzillo becomes the first American Giant to get on base off of Noe, who was looking very good there. He was just able to take a fastball from Noe that was a little bit away from him, but then set it over to right field for a good single there.
So 2 early swings here, and here's a pickoff throw to first, and diving back in headfirst safely. Noe struck out the side in the 6th inning. He gets a fly ball to left on the first pitch, and then an early swing from Gazzillo, and he grounds a base hit into right. Now it's Johnson batting for the first time today. Left-handed batter, looks at a strike, and it's 0-1.
Good job by Noe to backdoor that breaking ball in there. It was looking like it was going to go away from the plate, but then just took a nice cut in and hit the edge of the strike zone there.
0-1 is swung on and cracked to center, racing in, sliding for it is Curcio, and he makes the catch. Curcio able to make a nifty catch in center field as he raced in full speed, slid feet first, and made the snag for the second out of the 7th inning.
That's the advantage of the feet first slide we saw by Curcio there. That's where he's able to get ahead of it, slide in. So that's one where if he goes for broke diving head first, he might miss it. But that's one where he could still use his body to try to, trap it off the chest or at least keep it in front of him if he doesn't make the catch. But Curcio was able to grab it with the leather there and make the second out. That was a big spot for the Oilmen to get that catch.
7-5 Oilmen. We're in the 7th inning at Oil City Stadium. This is high for a ball. Might need to bring out a beat the Bork contest. We've done those a lot, especially on Thursdays over the course of the season. So we'll maybe crack that out in the bottom of this inning. The 1-0 swing and a miss, and the count 1-1.
David rarely misses a Thirsty Thursday. If
I'm
starting to notice a trend here.
It's purely coincidental. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs. Here's the 1-1. This is high for a ball, 2-1.
For Noe here, after Curcio really helped you out to get that second out, you just want to try to throw strikes up here. We're seeing the American Giants are putting bats on his pitches, but he's still looking pretty sharp on the mound in his second inning of work.
Oilmen are doubling up the Giants in the hit column 10-5, but their lead is just 7-5. Here's a foul on the count 2-2. They were spotted early were the Giants as Strutz walked 6 in just an inning and 2/3. The Oilmen bullpen has been outstanding, and the Oilmen have been trying to recover from a rough start for Strutz all game long, and they finally have clawed back and taken the lead.
That's the biggest thing, is that the bullpen hasn't been issuing really too many walks. We saw 2 from Seropian, 1 from Pricing, none so far from Noe, but after a lot of walks early, they've been going at these hitters more.
2-2 with 2 down, 2-run game. Here's the pitch. Runner goes, pitch ball 3, throw to second base, into center field. It's a stolen base. Stolen base for Gazillo as he swipes second. Now the count full at 3-2 on Vasquez, and a key play as a base hit could slice this lead in half.
That throw is a tough one for Hordeman to make because that pitch was lower in the zone, so he has to go down low, try to pop back up and throw over against Gazillo, who was off to a good jump.
3-2 with 2 outs. Vasquez standing in. 7-5 Oilmen. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left for the Giants in that inning. It's time to stretch at the OC. Oilmen 7, Giants 5 on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
I've never seen ads on top of the roof where it's helping the community.
This place teaches you to be genuine, to be the same person today as you were yesterday. People from Indiana, they're pretty comfortable with who they are. And you know, I think that puts the people around them at ease to be comfortable with who they are.
The values that built Indiana are here in Strachan Van Til. We're Indiana's grocery store, and we're proud to be Indiana made.
These days, it's recommended that you keep your social circle small. Of course, as the original light beer, we've always recommended that. It's Miller time.
We don't go to the office, we build it. This is a truism with Ironworkers Local 395 and the Northwest Indiana Contractors Association. Our goal is to exceed our customers' expectations. We provide a skilled, OSHA-trained, drug-free workforce, as well as many other certifications from our 4-year training program. Every time you hire an ironworker from Local 395, you should feel confident that you are receiving highly trained, highly skilled, and drug-free journeymen and apprentices who take their job and your project seriously. For more information, contact us at 219-763-7900 or ironworkers395.com.
Have a student headed to college this fall? If so, you probably have questions, and the best place to find answers is Ivy Tech Community College. Ivy Tech is in your community and offers hundreds of options. Best of all, our tuition is a fraction of the cost of other colleges. Complete a free application today.
Don't go to the office, we build it. 219-763-7900.
If so, you probably have questions, and the best place to find answers is Ivy Tech Community College. Ivy Tech is in your community and offers hundreds of options. Best of all, our tuition is a fraction of the cost of other colleges. Complete a free application today.
Back for the 7th inning. They've stretched out here at the OC with the home team leading it by a 7-5 score. The Oilmen have outplayed the Giants for much of the night. Again, it was just the first 2 innings and really the start from the starter Strutz that caused the Oilmen to play from behind, but they've done the job of rallying, and they lead this game by a 7-5 score. First pitch from Scanlon here is a strike, and the count 0-1 as we begin the 7th inning. How about some Beat the Bork trivia, Leo?
All right.
Would you like to? There's only one answer tonight. It's not one. Normally we do like you have to name 5 of something, but there's one answer. So I'll ask you this question first here, or before I ask you the question, I have another question. Here's the 0-1. swinging a looper towards center. This ball's going to get down for a base hit. Radcliffe a single to begin this last of the 7th inning as he loops one into shallow center, and it's his 3rd hit of the ball game.
We've seen a few of those tonight from the Oilmen where they're putting it in the air but not putting it deep enough where there's a play for the outfielders to make, just kind of dropping it between a couple of defenders, and that leads to a base hit.
Now Tyler steps in. 7-5 Oilmen as we play bottom of inning number 7. 7 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Oilmen. 5-5-0 for the Giants. Here's a swing and a bouncer foul. No errors on either side tonight. It's been a clean game defensively to this point. But so I'm going to ask you this question, Leo. Would you like to go first, or would you like David to take the first crack at it? And I will warn you, it's not. I wouldn't say it's an easy one.
I'll let David go first here so I can try to take a read off of his answer.
Now, but if he gets it, then it's all over. You didn't beat the Bork tonight. 0-1, the count on Tyler.
I rarely ever do, so I'll allow him to go first here.
All right.
He's got his trivia book here, so that might help him.
Wow, he brought it with tonight. This is swung on and lifted in the air. It's pretty well hit back in left center. Gazzillo has a beat on it, though, and actually he comes in a few paces. It's shy of the track as he makes the catch. I thought this might at least get to the warning track, but it died out a little bit short, and Tyler is out for the 4th time today, but he also had that triple and scored a run in the 3rd.
That was hit in the proximity of 2 outfielders there. Gazzillo, we saw earlier today, lost one in the sun and the lights. This time he was able to camp under it and make the catch there in left field for the important first out of this inning. And it kept Radcliffe at first base as well.
Now it's Marshall next. Marshall is having himself a day. He is 3 for 3 plus a walk. He has driven in 3 runs, and kind of unique. A lot of times when you've driven in 3 runs, sometimes it was a home run that drove in a few, or 1 hit drove in 2. But no, each of the first 3 times he came to the plate, he drove in exactly 1 run. This is low for a ball. The count 1 ball and no strikes. And he has scored twice as well. Brandon Vickery, Leo Staudaher, and David Bork is with us as well. David is our longtime official scorer, among many other duties here at Oil City Stadium. He has been with us since 2014, and that's when here's the runner going. Pitch a ball, throw to second base is going to be in time. Out at second base is Radcliffe. 2-6 on the caught stealing, Leo, for the 2nd out of the inning.
That was one where it looked like Avelos wasn't going to be able to control it, but he made a good read off the redirection and was just able to gun down Radcliffe at second base. A good toss. That one was on a line over to the bag, and they were able to apply the tag for the out.
2-0 on Marshall. 2 outs, and the base is clear now. 7-5 Oilmen, bottom of inning number 7. Anyway, David is about to await this trivia question at long last here. Let's get to it. Who is the only infielder with 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases as a rookie? 3 balls and no strikes. This is in baseball lore in recent memory. Here's a pitch high for a ball. It's ball 4. Marshall draws a walk.
And that, where you see Marshall draw the walk there, the Oilman had a runner gunned down, so you would have advanced him anyway. That's kind of the give and take with these aggressive strategy the Oilmen have had, sending a lot of players running today, is you probably would have advanced Radcliffe anyway on that walk. So now, instead of having 2 men on and 1 out, you have 2 men out and only 1 on.
Zarnacki standing in. So David's going to give a try at this trivia question tonight, the Beat the Bork Trivia Challenge. You can play along at home by commenting on our Facebook feed. Here's a check swing. Did he go? And no swing. Okay, I want to know. It's tricky when it's a 2-man crew because the appeal ends up going to the middle of the field, and it's hard for the umpire from the middle of the field to say, yes, he did go around. Now, time called here is Leslie, the catcher, will go through a series of signs. That's one of 2 Leslies. Colin Leslie is the catcher. Zach Leslie is the first baseman. Here's a ball that's picked up and underhand to first in time, and the inning ends. A little nubber is collected by Scanlon. He gets it to the first baseman for the 1-3 put out to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left for the Oilmen in the 7th. On to the 8th, and we'll have David's guess at the trivia when we come back. 7-5 Oilmen on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Football legend Tom Flores, a.k.a. the Iceman, a.k.a. the first Latino quarterback and head coach ever, a.k.a. why isn't he in the hall yet? Well, Coors Light is going to do something about it.
I'll drink to that.
I am a success. I am the future.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am. I am.
I am Ivy Tech Community College.
Are you?
You guys are crushing it. See how 8 grams of healthy protein in Land of Frost premium meat gives you energy and keeps you full. Let's get those buns toasted, bread. Cheese, 10 more. Go.
I'm getting shredded.
Make the smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
Safety doesn't come in a box. It's not a banner that goes on a wall. It's not something you do now and then, or when it's convenient. It's using state-of-the-art simulators to better prepare for any situation. It's giving offshore teams onshore support, and it's empowering anyone to stop a job if something doesn't seem right. At BP, safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
BP's natural gas teams use smart app technology to share data from any well instantly, so they can analyze trends and stop potential problems in their tracks, because safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Back at Oil City Stadium with his new pitcher on the mound, it's Justin Egan. The right-hander is in to work for the Oilmen. He takes over for Silas Noe. 2 innings, just 1 hit, shutout baseball. He walked none and struck out 4 as the excellent bullpen work from the Oilmen continued.
That was big for Noe being able to go 2 frames. That sets it up well for Justin Egan now here in the 8th inning, trying to pick up where Noe left off, as Noe was just able to throw strikes, get a lot of swinging and missing, which we hadn't seen too much from the American Giants prior to that.
All right, we'll see if we get an answer here from David Bork. Here comes the first pitch of the inning. It's high for a ball. It is Colin Leslie batting for the second time today. He walked in the 5th inning, and he takes high for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Leslie, the catcher now. This is a strike and the count 1-1. All right, David, what do you have? He says Jackie Robinson. 1 ball and 1 strike. That is not the correct answer. He may have had those numbers, but this is based on this is high for a ball, 2-1. It's a modern player, I'll tell you that much. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the 2-1. This is taken for a strike on Leslie, and the count evens out at 2-2. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, and that is strike 3. Going after Leslie was Egan. That's the first out of the inning.
Good job by Egan going a few different locations, mixing up speed and location with those pitches, going all over the place against Leslie, keeping him guessing for the strikeout.
1 out on the bases clear. Gazda will stand in next, the top of the order. Here's the first pitch on the way, taken low for a ball. David has a big book of trivia questions that he brought with him tonight. And he reads that all the time and hopes that I will ask one of the questions in that book. 1 ball, no strikes, the count here. Swing and a miss. The count 1-1. 7-5 Oilmen as we play inning number 8. About to hit 10 o'clock on AM 1230 WJOB and JED TV, Region Sports, and the Oilmen Facebook page. Happy to have you with us. Here's the pitch, swing on and foul. The count is 1-2. Oilmen will be back here again tomorrow night for the 3rd game of this 4-game homestand. Leo and I will have it for you beginning at 7 o'clock with the first pitch at 7:10. Friday night against the Southland Vikings. Oilmen trying to make up some ground on the Vikings, who are ahead of them in the standings. 1-2 here is looped toward the right field line. This is going to land foul, and the count remains 1-2.
That one was maybe a foot over to the left. That could have been in a really dangerous spot for Radcliffe out there in right field, as it took a good roll out to the wall. That could have been probably 3 bases if that landed fair.
Leo, whenever, if you'd like to guess, 20 home run, 20 stolen base as a rookie player.
said a modern player, maybe Chris Bryant. He won Rookie of the Year. Definitely had the home runs, probably not the stolen bases, though.
No, it was not Chris Bryant. Should I give you the year, David, before, or at least the, I'll say it was in your lifetime, David. Here's the 1-2 swing and a miss, and that is strike 3. Out on strikes is Gazda for the second out. So back-to-back strikeouts begin this inning. Egan has fanned a pair here. The Oilmen pitching staff, and specifically the bullpen, has continued to do yeoman's work here tonight. All 5 runs were permitted by the starter Struts, but it's been nothing but zeros since for the Chicago American Giants, and the Oilmen have rallied to take a 7-5 lead. Here's a swing and a miss. The count 0-1. All right. Barry Bonds is not correct. Good, very good guess. Here's the 0-1, swing and a miss. It's an infielder. An infielder.
Try for Derek Jeter. There's like
Derek Jeter, no.
8-part documentary coming out about him. Maybe that's in there somewhere.
0-2, 2 outs. Here's the 2-strike pitch. This is fouled out of play. And actually, you know, as I think about this further, I jotted down this question earlier. I guess this was an important clarification to begin with. He's the only infielder to do this as a rookie. So that's where Jackie Robinson, when you said that, I know that had to be the case, that he would have had those numbers in his rookie season. 0-2 with 2 outs. Here comes the pitch on the way. This is low and outside for a ball, 1-2. So the only infielder to, as a rookie, have 20 stolen bases and 20 home runs. So, David, we can let you guess again here since I will need to clarify that. One and 2. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And striking out the side is Egan in that inning. The Oilmen have struck out the side, in fact, in 3 different innings tonight. Quite a few strikeouts from the Oilmen pitching staff, and the inning ends here in the 8th. 7-5 Oilmen on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
You hire certified electrician contractors, you're getting the best. But just as important as our skill and expertise is our culture of safety. We know it's important to you, and we know it's important to them. Certified Electrician represents the Nika IBEW team, a team where safety and productivity go hand in hand. It's why our jobs finish on time and on budget. It's why owners that use us are repeat customers. Certified Electrician, working together, powering Northwest Indiana.
Wait! Let me help! Land of Frost! Premium meat! Delicious! And no byproducts!
Toss it in.
Et moi?
Okay.
Whee!
Make a smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
Yes!
When it comes to Sunday, choose the right couch. Here's to the original light beer. It's Miller time. These natural gas teams use smart app technology to share data from any well instantly, so they can analyze trends and stop potential problems in their tracks, because safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Bottom of the 8th inning, 7-5 in favor of the Oilmen. Let's wrap up the Beat the Bork trivia challenge here. Leo, do you have any guesses?
Joey Votto, maybe?
Joey Votto, not correct. He had 30 home runs and 22 stolen bases in 1997. And he was the only infielder, again, within the modern game here, with 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases as a rookie. Here's a pitch taken for a strike in the count 0-1. Always like to drop in a trivia question or 2 over the course of the game if we can, especially when David's here. And time called. We'll wrap it up in this 8th inning. It's 7-5 Oilmen. Neither team has scored since the 6th. It's the bottom of inning number 8. Scanlon is still working. He delivers the 0-1 pitch, swinging a ground ball to the right side. This is going to be fielded by the first baseman, and Leslie will take it to the first base sack unassisted for the first out of the 8th inning.
Clark just swinging a little on top of that one, chopping it over to first base. Wasn't quite able to barrel that up and give it something that he could try to get on base with.
Anthony Fumagalli will stand in next. David says A-Rod. That's not correct. He did it with the Red Sox, Leo.
Oh, boy.
This was 1997. Here's a pitch taken for a strike, and the count 0-1.
It was still a little bit before my time, but maybe David Ortiz. I don't quite know when he came in.
He did not break in with the Red Sox, and he probably did not steal too many bases.
That's true.
0-1 is a ball on the count, one ball and one strike. This was he was a Red Sox. The answer was from 96 to 04.
Adam Oppenheim would know the answer, I bet. But
should I tell you what team he went to next? Here's the 1-1. Swinging a ground ball to short. This is fielded by Naha, and the throw to first is in time. I think this one will give it away. Then he went to the Chicago Cubs next from 2004 to 2005 before finishing his career with the Dodgers. Nomar Garcia-Parra. How about that?
Honestly, I would have thought there would be more players to do that.
The only infielder. There are outfielders because a lot of times outfielders have the speed to do that and the power. If there may be a good power speed guy in the outfield. But the infield, the sluggers are at first base and might not have the speed, and then the guys who would steal the bases in the middle infield might not be always slugging that many home runs as a rookie. So there you go. 1 ball and no strikes. Wasn't my smoothest delivery of the Beat the Borg Trivia Challenge, but I had to stump you tonight after I had an easy one last Thursday. This is low for a ball, 2-0.
Yeah, that was a good change of pace there. Caught us off guard a little bit. Excited to see what the next one has.
2 outs and the base is clear. Curcio standing in. 7-5 Oilmen. We are in the 8th inning. This is swung on and sent the other way to left. Coming in Gazzillo, and now he reaches up and can't make the catch. Gazzillo misplays this. It ends up over his head. Curcio into second base, and he is safe at second. We'll see how they score it. He ends up safe at second base. It scored a double. Gazzillo ran in, and then he had to reach up, and it's over his head.
Gazzillo was maybe coming too fast in on that one where he wasn't able to stop his movement, was trying to catch that one on the run, and that's where it's tough to get because you're basically just relying on the glove lining up with the ball perfectly, and that was not the case there as he basically ran over it, and that allowed it to drop and now extends the inning for the Oilmen.
Now Horniman next. 2 outs and a runner at second base, and we'll see if the Oilmen can tack on. Here's a look back to second, and Curcio is back to the bag safely. Here's the first pitch, taken low and outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Again, another 7-10 start tomorrow. Oilmen and Vikings. Then we'll see at 6:10 on Friday night. 1-0. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, and the count 1-1.
Good job by Scanlon to get Horniman swinging over that one, as now the Oilmen have just been able to put a little bit more pressure on him, trying to add a run here in the bottom of the 8th.
1 ball and 1 strike, 2 outs. Here's a swing and a miss, and the count is 1-2. 7-5 Oilmen. We are in the 8th inning. The Oilmen out hitting the Giants 12-5. They've really outplayed the Giants for the bulk of this game. Robinson, by the way, Jackie Robinson, this is taken for a ball. So the reason he doesn't qualify, we had some confusion on that, is that he had 12 home runs as a rookie along with 29 stolen bases. So he did not meet the home run threshold. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Horniman. Here's the 2-2. Swinging a tapper foul left side, and the count 2-2. And then Barry Bonds was answered as well. And his rookie season, he had 16 home runs and 36 stolen bases. So even within that, even without that parameter of it needing to be an infielder, he did not reach the 20 home runs either. Here's the 2-2. Swinging a slow roller to the left side. This is going to be picked up by the third baseman. The throw to first, and this is an error. Reaching safely here is going to be Horniman. A throw from the third baseman Gazda that was offline. Then the first baseman Leslie couldn't field it cleanly either, and safe at first. Horniman on the first error of the game by either team.
That's big. The Oilmen now capitalizing on a pair of misplays by the American Giants with 2 outs, extending these innings. Now you're trying to get your top of the order back up and put some insurance runs on the board.
Holding it second on the play was Curcio. Oh, this will be a throwing error. Here comes the pitch to Famakanen. It's inside for a ball, 1-0.
Now the Oilmen just want to try to get some more runs on. 2 runs against this American Giant team is something they could easily overcome. We've seen it a few times this season. So you want to head to the top of the 9th inning, giving a good cushion for your pitcher.
1-0 is a strike on the inner. In the count, 1 ball, 1 strike.
While we did see Justin Egan work a really good 1-2-3 inning, striking out all 3 batters, you want to help him out a little bit, give him more room to work with than just these 2 runs here.
Here's the 1-1. Taken for strike 2 called. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. 7-5 Oilmen as we play bottom of inning number 8. We have passed the 3-hour mark at Oil City Stadium. 3 outs left to get for the Oilmen, but first they try to tack on some insurance. The 1-2 inside for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2 with 2 down. Oilmen 7, Giants 5 as we play bottom of inning number 8. Here's the 2-2. This is inside for ball 3, 3-2.
Famakanen just working this count against Scanlon, forcing him to throw some good pitches, not chasing anything inside against him.
It'll be the head start time for the runners. Payoff pitch with 2 outs. Swinging a drive over the head of the shortstop, a soft single, a base hit for Famakanen. A run's going to come in and score. Throw goes to third. It's to nobody. Another run's going to try to come in and score, and will. Crossing the plate, Horniman. Ending up at third base on the play is Famakanen. RBI single for Famakanen. Second run scores on the throwing error, and the Oilmen end up adding 2. It's 9-5 in favor of the Oilmen.
That was crucial for the Oilmen. Get 2 runs on that, capitalize on a couple of errors by the American Giants on this inning. You figure with that ball out to left field, that could have ended the inning. Then there was an error at short, and then on that play, a little bit of weirdness allows Famakanen to get to third base, while 2 runs also score.
So single and 1 RBI, and then E7 allows the second run to come in and score, and it is 9-5 Oilmen. Both of those runs are unearned by virtue of the error a moment ago. Here's a swing and a foul out of play, and the count 0-1. And even the double in this inning that it really should have been caught. It was a play where Gazillo in left came in too far and then had to reach up and was not underneath the ball, and it got over his head. No balls and a strike on Radcliffe. This is high for a ball, 1-1. That should have been the third out of the inning. Then the ground ball to the left side should have been the third out of the inning. And then this was a soft line drive single, and it ends up the damage being compounded with a throwing error on that play. 9-5 Oilmen as we play bottom of inning number 8. Here's the 1-1. Low for a ball. This is a wild pitch, and a run's going to come in and score. Famakanen crosses the dish, and the Oilmen now doubling up the Giants 10-5.
That was big to put up this 3 spot in this inning here, all with 2 outs too. The Oilmen just capitalizing on some mistakes by the American Giants, making them pay with 2 away in the bank, and have now made this a 5-run game.
2 balls and a strike on Radcliffe. Radcliffe now batting with the bases clear. The 2-1. High and outside for ball 3. 3-1.
Scanlon just missing his spots on a couple of pitches. The damage has certainly been done against him, and now he's just trying to finish off this inning and give his offense a chance to come back.
3 balls and a strike on Radcliffe. The Oilmen have won plenty of nail-biters here at Oil City Stadium. They're trying to cruise to the win here this evening. Here's the 3-1 outside for ball 4. The Giants were within striking distance going into this inning, but the Oilmen have been gifted 3 runs here. And they're hoping for more. All 3 runs are unearned.
And that's big, just the fact that they get 2 quick outs and now have been able to put a lot of runs on the board and still have the potential for more with Kyle Tyler in the box here.
Kyle Tyler. Again, one of 3 Kyles in the first 4 hitters for the Oilmen. This is inside for a ball. Kyle Radcliffe spells it K-H-Y-L-E. Kyle Tyler, K-Y-L-E. Kyle Zarnacki is the cleanup hitter, K-Y-L-E. Here's the 1-0. This is taken for a strike in the count 1-1. There was also Kyle Alexander of the Southland Vikings a year ago. That was K-Y-E-L. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is inside to Kyle on the count 2-1.
Tyler just trying to keep it going here, laying off some breaking balls from Scanlon that might have been tempting, but he was able to take those and make it a 2-1 count.
Here's a 2-1, and this is inside. He backs away, and it's 3-1. Scanlon has lost it a little bit here after some shaky defense behind him. Now he walks a batter with 2 outs and the base is clear, and he's facing a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Lost a little bit of the control. Here's the 3-1. This is ball 4. It slips away from the catcher Leslie, but it's ball 4 anyway as Radcliffe is forced to second, and Tyler is on base for the 2nd time today. Now it'll be Marshall with 2 outs and 2 on.
And Scanlon was really looking like he was just trying to hit that spot inside, but wasn't able to locate it for strikes. Tried that, I think, on 3 of the 4 balls to Tyler, and just not accurate as he could have been there.
10-5 Oilmen as we play the bottom of inning number 8. A clear and pleasant night. A great night to just hang out and enjoy a ball game. Here comes the pitch. Swinging a line drive. Caught. It's snow cone by the third baseman Gazda. He gloves the hot smash, and the inning ends. The Oilmen settle for the 3 runs. They do it on 2 hits and leave 2. We go to the 9th. I hope you won't go anywhere. Oilmen 10, Giants 5 on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Don't go to the office, we build it. This is a truism with Ironworkers Local 395 and the Northwest Indiana Contractors Association. Our goal is to exceed our customers' expectations. We provide a skilled, OSHA-trained, drug-free workforce, as well as many other certifications from our 4-year training program. Every time you hire an ironworker from Local 395, you should feel confident that you are receiving highly trained, highly skilled, and drug-free journeymen and apprentices who take their job and your project seriously. For more information, contact us at 219-763-7900 or ironworkers395.com.
Have a student headed to college this fall? If so, you probably have questions, and the best place to find answers is Ivy Tech Community College. Ivy Tech is in your community and offers hundreds of options. Best of all, our tuition is a fraction of the cost of other colleges. Complete a free application today.
It is the 6th Oilman pitcher of the game, and it's a right-hander. Nick Hayden is into work for the Oilmen after Justin Egan strikes out, goes a scoreless inning in which he strikes out the side. The Oilman bullpen has been nothing short of excellent here today, Leo, and Hayden will try to keep that going with a 10-5 lead as we go to the 9th.
And it was the bullpen that really helped to keep the Oilmen in this game. How you had Pricing work some solid innings in a part where this game still could have gotten even worse for the Oilmen. Seropian nailed a couple big strikeouts. Silas Noe with 2 really good innings, and then Justin Egan striking out the side last inning. That was huge for them.
It's been the big story today, the bullpen of the Northwest Indiana Oilmen. Also, David Marshall, who lined out his last time a moment ago, was trying to reach for a 6th straight time, and it was a sharp line drive. I think Marshall had a huge day. That was a big storyline. And the work of the bullpen has been a big story as well.
Just the fact that the Oilmen didn't really seem flustered when they went down 5-0 or 5-1 to start this game, that they have just, the comeback has always been brewing all day. They've been taking really good at bats. You could tell it wasn't a matter of if, but more so when were the Oilmen going to take the lead, and now they've been able to double it.
10-5 in favor of the Oilmen. You're right, it kind of has trended that way all day long. And now they lead at 10-5 here in the ninth. By the way, tomorrow night, country music night here at the ballpark. You do not want to miss that. And then breast cancer awareness night coming up on Saturday. Country music night tomorrow. I'm sure they'll have a nice country playlist that will keep things festive tomorrow night. So tickets are available at NWIOilman.com. And then, of course, the Northern League All-Star Game is on Tuesday at 7:10. First pitch here is swung on and lifted in the air. Foul off to the right, out of play. Count no balls and 1 strike on Carter. Oh and 1, Nick Hayden has had a very solid year for the Oilmen. He's been reliable out of that bullpen.
It's been one of the go-to pieces for the Oilmen out of the pen here, back for his second season with the team, and as somebody they've just always been able to count on in lots of different situations. Had that really big save against the Corn Dogs a couple weeks back.
Lifts this one foul, Leo. Repertoire 2-seamer, a fastball, slider, and change. At Aurora now. He pitched in the All-Star game a year ago. The 0-2 is a ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Played for some really good teams at St. Lawrence as well in high school, so he's played in some big-time baseball. I believe the Vikings made a run at the state championship, might not have won it, but came pretty close to it.
Yeah.
One of those years.
Here's the 1-2. This is taken for strike 3 call. Hayden strikes out Carter. He's out on strikes. The bullpen remains just outstanding today. Quick anecdote here on Hayden, kind of interesting. I asked him, obviously he played for TJ Merrick a year ago here with the Oilmen. I knew he was very familiar with TJ and that there was a connection between TJ and Adam Enright, the Oilman manager this season. We get a pinch hitter here, I believe. Let's see. Appears that's the case. But we'll have to identify him for you momentarily. 10-5 the score, 1 out here in inning number 9, but I'm going to get to the story after this pitch. Here's a strike. He said that his freshman year when he was set to go to Webster, going into college, he got a text from Adam Enright trying to get him to go to Trinity Christian. At that time, that was during Adam's first stint at Trinity Christian. Here's the 0-1, low and outside for a ball. So he said when he met him in person and saw him here to pitch for the Oilmen, he was going to bring up that story of the fact that they had been in touch before as he had been recruited a little bit by the former Trinity Christian recruiting coordinator, Adam Enright. Here's the 1-1 outside for a ball, 2-1.
We talk all the time about different connections between players in the league, but how about that? Different connections between coaches and players in the league that may not have ended up playing for each other, but now that was a misconnection at the time. Now they get a chance to team up with the Oilmen here.
Hayden delivers high, 3-1. He has finished up his undergrad at Aurora. He is now working toward a master's degree in sports management. And he's still going to class and to school during the summer. He's going to class during the day and then coming out here and playing ball games at night. And he's also coaching a youth team over the course of this summer. Nick Hayden, the 3-1 is a strike, and the count goes full, 3-2.
It's a good way to blow off some steam with summer classes where you're in the classroom all day, kind of just staring at a screen or whatever, and then now you get to go out, play some ball for the Oilmen and try to shut down this game.
3-2. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts to begin the outing. And Hayden is feeling it, and a lot of Oilmen pitchers have been feeling it tonight.
It's just like one's picking up after the other. The Oilmen bullpen has been getting better throughout the night, which is impressive considering how they started with Tyler Pricing with a good couple innings of work. Then it's just been one after the other. Everybody's going up there and getting some good swinging and missing from the American Giants.
Yeah, right now it is exactly 7 innings of work for the Oilmen bullpen, and just 3 hits allowed, and 3 walks. This is low for a ball.
15 combined strikeouts, which is a pretty good number to have.
First pitch strike actually here to O'Connor. Here's the 0-1. Strike 2 called. 0-2. Now Hayden is going to try to strike out the side with this pitch. No, not a save situation. This is a game of the bullpens. Crocker is going to take the loss. And we'll identify the winning pitcher here momentarily. Here's the 0-2 high for a ball. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Oilmen took the lead in the bottom of the 6th inning. I believe Noe is going to be the winning pitcher. 1-2. The Oilmen are going to improve to 17-14, and the Giants are going to see their record slip to 4-22. Here comes the 1-2. Swinging a foul at the plate, and it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's big out for the Oilmen to capitalize on this game, move their record closer to 20 wins, and they're trying to continue to stay entrenched where they are in the standings.
Oilmen trying to keep pace with those teams that keep winning atop the Northern League standings. The Corn Dogs seem to keep winning. They have won 3-0 tonight. The Vikings, I believe, won 8-5 over Joliet. 1-2, 2 outs. 10-5 the score in favor of the Oilmen. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Hayden strikes out the side. The Oilmen bullpen, a magnificent night. 7 1/3 shutout innings from the Oilmen bullpen, and that allows the Oilmen to beat the Giants by a 10-5 score and get back in the win column here tonight at Oil City Stadium. Thanks to everybody involved with our broadcast. James Dorr, David Bork, job well done. For Leo Staudaher, Brandon Vickery saying, I hope you enjoyed. Again, the final, Oilmen 10, Giants 5. I'll talk to you tomorrow night, and Leo will talk to you on his post-game show. It's next. Please stay tuned. Leo will have it for you right after this on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Leo Staudaher back with you here for the Northwest Indiana Oilmen post-game show. This comes after an Oilmen winner. They took down the Chicago American Giants 10-5. Got a huge win here at home in a game that saw them trail early, but they came from behind, as they often have this year, to get the win. They were down 5-1 after the 2nd inning, but then were able to tack on 2 in the 3rd, 2 more in the 4th, 2 in the 6th, and then 3 in the 8th to get that 10-5 win. Silas Noe picks up the win, while Austin Crocker gets the loss. For the Oilmen, they had 13 hits, 10 runs, no errors. For the American Giants, 5 hits, 5 runs, and 2 errors. Those errors came in the 8th inning. That's what helped the Oilmen make it more lopsided. How about the game from David Marshall with 3 hits, 2 walks, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. He really made his impact felt, as he attributed to 5 of the 10 runs for the Oilmen reaching base and 5 of the 6 times he was up. And this Oilmen bullpen just locking things down. Tyler Pricing throwing 2 1/3, allowing 2 hits, no runs, walking just 1. Then Chris Seropian went an inning, striking out 2, walking 2. Silas Noe had 2 large frames, striking out 4. And then Justin Egan striking out the side in the 8th to set the table then for Nick Hayden to do the same thing in the 9th. 7 straight strikeouts to end the game for the Oilmen. The bullpen really shut things down and left them in that position for the win. They'll try to bounce back against the Southland Vikings for a 2-game home series against them. The Oilmen record moves to 17-14. They're trying to climb some ground in the standings here. But until then, that's all we have for you here on in Whiting at Oil City Stadium.